Hello. Welcome on in. I have a chat screen for this. I think we should have a toolbar for talks. There we go. Good meridian. Still getting set up here. See if I am live at this point. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Sounds good. Alright. Something seems a little strange with this chat window that I've got. There we go. Alright. I might want to set up another spreadsheet just for streaming. Talk about that a little bit later. It's just about another minute and a half. Hey, bravos! Yes, that is the pirate costume, or I think a little bit more what I had in mind at that time was the pirate pimp costume that I had. Yeah. So it's a little bit pirate, a little bit pimp. Still working to get everything set up. We'll be ready in a minute. How are you doing today, bravos? All right. Well, I'm supposed to be working, but I'm watching you, so I guess I'm okay. How about you? Hey, Bravo Slab, what are you supposed to be working on right now? But I'm glad you're here. Is it one of those jobs where you can do two things at once? Can you be watching a stream while you're actually doing some work as well? Kind of listening to it in the background? I kind of like to listen to people. Of course, if you are working, then I don't want to be, causing you to have to jump on your keyboard all the time to reply. So I'll jump into my stuff here a little bit. So in this morning's stream on Twitch, we talked about the market a little bit, and so I'm not going to go into all of the stuff that we looked at with the market, but there was a bunch of charts that we were looking at. We were also looking at the Harmony One's DPEG of the USD, and we looked at gold and all that kind of stuff. So that's one thing that we talked about on this morning's stream on Twitch. For anybody who's just catching us on YouTube right now, we did a giveaway on Twitch as well. We talked about a bunch of stuff, and I was updating my spreadsheet, and we were tracking a bunch of hero stuff and the progress that the farming tool or the waifu bot was helping us with. By working, I mean some sandbox stuff, but I've heard you give away heroes during streams. Oh, wow. Yes. Yes, indeed. Gave away a Gen 1 hero on the Twitch stream, I guess a day or two ago. Absolutely. So you're here for that. Sounds good. Yeah, we're going to be doing a little bit more stuff. I've got a couple of giveaways that I'm going to do today also. I plan to do a few more giveaways on the YouTube stream a little bit more often than the Twitch stream. I will still probably do one giveaway on Twitch, but I want to get a little bit more giveaways going on the YouTube side of things as well. How's the audio coming through? Is the microphone sounding okay? Is there any crackling in the voice of the audio? I've got a kind of a new setup over here. Actually come from Twitch. But this is me looking professional. Yes. Yes. I kind of figured. I like your professional look. It's good. What are you working on professionally for Sandbox right now? Wasn't sure if you wanted to give that information away coming from Twitch. Wink, wink, right? Nobel! Hey, Nobel! I can read your name, too. RX something? RX some numbers? Your mic is still getting some static, but not much. Let me try this. I really do want a crisp, clean sound. I spent $100 on a new microphone. I'm not using that microphone right now. I am using, a little $5 clip-on microphone, but this was the same microphone that I was using, 6 or 7 months ago. And I thought my audio was pretty good back then. So I think that there's something else going on right now with this little mic. I can't tell if it's the fan and the window AC unit that I've got right next to me, but I think something's changed. I mean, it's always been there. And used to be that when it was turned on, y'all weren't saying anything bad about the quality of the audio. But if I have to break out that $100 mic and bring it in here, I'd rather not do it. It's set up on another computer right now. But if I have to, then I will, because I definitely want to make sure I've got good, smooth, clean audio. That's the most important. I think most of y'all aren't necessarily watching the stream very often, but you're just kind of chilling with it in the background. And in that particular case, I think some of the audio quality comes across a lot more clearly, or I should say it's a lot more noticeable if you're not actually watching, or if there's not a lot of action going on in the stream, and especially if you're just kind of listening to it in the background. Let's see. Some guy liked one of the entries I submitted for the Tower Jam. Oh, the Tower. I will say the Tower Jam is a type of game that I might really be interested in playing. Yeah. And by Tower Jam, I think what y'all are doing is a tower defense game. Is that right? There was a game called Desktop Tower Defense or something like that a long time ago. That was the first one I got into. Do they still have that? Desktop Tower Defense? Did y'all ever play that? Yeah, this was it. Right? This little game right here. And I love this game a lot. I really played a lot of this, if this is kind of what you're talking about. And to see something like that on Sandbox would be pretty cool, I guess. I don't know how you'd control all of that through Sandbox necessarily. Maybe there's a different type of version, or maybe by Tower Jam you mean something totally different, right? All right. So let's pick up where we left off this morning. I think one of the things that we were doing this morning is I was showing a little bit of, I wasn't showing the spreadsheet, although I did move it over to this screen where I have access to it now. But one of the things that I was doing is I was setting up something there where we can do a little bit with the stamina potions. And I was getting in or adding to a, and I don't think I've got anything in here. I was adding to a liquidity pool that I mean to keep in track with. And it looks like I have a little bit of that information right here. DFK milkweed is what I started off with. I had started off with 60 and 11.53 crystal. And as you can see, over the course of these days that I've been tracking it, it's been going up and down, 58 milkweed, and then 61 milkweed. But again, it's retaining that 50% balance of the value of milkweed and crystal, right, over the course of those days. I was explaining a little bit earlier in the Twitch stream today, and I'll go ahead and briefly mention that again right now since we're going to be talking about this, that I have not really noticed myself personally a really big advantage or gain from getting into some of these other types of liquidity pools, like mixing milkweed with crystal as an example, where it's not one of the normal gardens that DFK is providing for us. I haven't seen a lot of really good reward or maybe I should say, I'm not sure I've seen any reward from this kind of thing at all, right? Maybe you could say that I gained a milkweed over the course of some amount of days. How many days is it from here to here? So the 19th to the 21st, and it looks like I need to look at this again here today being the 28th. But if I've gained one milkweed, and notice that I'm down a little bit in crystal, so I'm still down 0.1 in crystal from that. Maybe I should go look and see how much milkweed actually is compared to crystal, because that would be important too. Let's take crystal and DFK milkweed. And here we can see one is 0.1. It's about 0.1. So just being up one milkweed, I would expect to be down one crystal if we're keeping a 50% thing. So in other words, I haven't seen any increased value in my quote portfolio, if you want to call it that, for holding on to 60 milkweed and 11 crystal being dedicated into this pool. I still got the same value in there, right? Yeah, it's gained one crystal, but we're down 0.1. I mean, we've gained one milkweed, but we're down 0.1 crystal. And that is what we would have expected. We would have just bought another milkweed and paid for it in crystal, right? So not noticing really any gains from this kind of stuff. I need to talk to a few other people that are doing this a little bit more and find out why or how, because maybe I'm just not doing something right. You know that for the normal gardens for DFK, you not only have to buy the seeds, but then you have to plant the seeds into the garden. And I don't necessarily think that's the case for these liquidity pools here. I haven't heard anyone talking about, going to put them in any specific place. I think the gardens is set up in a very specific manner to give us additional bonuses outside of the DEX, right? But I think setting up a liquidity pool like this is very much tied directly to the back-end DEX, the decentralized exchange. And maybe that the percentages of the income is just so tiny that it's going to take weeks to even see a difference. And again, this is what I was talking about on the YouTube stream the Twitch stream was, it might be a little bit better to just take that 22 crystal. Remember, if it's 11 crystal here equals about 60 milkweed, then this whole pool right here, I've got about 22 crystal total. And maybe it would be better to take the 22 crystal and divide it 11 crystal, or take 11 crystal as crystal, and the other half of it would be BTC, and plunk that into one of the other gardens, the more incentivized gardens, and getting something a little bit better out of that, right? Let me catch up in chat here just a minute. Let's see. Bravo Slab says, most people made their game following the Cyber Dragon tutorial, therefore most of the games look alike, but not mine. That's cool. I did watch the tutorial, however, I didn't like the aesthetics, so I applied my own logic. That is good. And yeah, tower defense game. Wow, nice. Do you have a little video for that, Bravo Slabs? Under your professional gaming name or title? I would love to see a little bit of stuff. You might not have anything prepared yet as a demonstration. Potatoes, potatoes. How are you doing today? Welcome on back. You haven't missed much yet. Oh, potatoes, potatoes. You might be able to answer a question for me, actually. We are just kind of talking about this. And something that I've been dabbling in. Love me some TD. Yes, indeed. One of the things that we have been dabbling in is seeds and liquidity pools for other types of things. So a few days ago, or a week ago maybe, I dropped in 60 milkweed and paired it with 11.5 crystal and, set that up in the Druid, right? Have you done anything with liquidity pools in that manner? I guess that's the first question. If you haven't, then I'm not sure that you'd have the information that I'm looking for. Let's see. Bravo Slab says, I do, but it's messed up. You can check the vid on my channel. Okay, very cool. And Bravo Slabs, if you want to drop the link to your channel, I could check it out from that, or I can check it out later after the stream, whichever you prefer. But I am very curious. As you know, I like to see what viewers are putting together. I've also set this stream to have super low latency. I'm kind of curious. Let me ask a question, and when I do, or let me tell y'all something to put in chat, and when I say this, I want to see how quickly y'all can put this in chat when I'm about to say it, so we can do a little timing. I want you to put the number 7 in chat, and let's see how long it takes for y'all to get the number 7 in chat. So, okay, so it's about 12 seconds, so that's not too bad. That's not too bad at all. Thanks for helping me out with that. So y'all are only about 12 seconds behind me. Really cool. Potatoes Potato says, yes, I was previously pooling a few items, but not exactly now, as I didn't see much benefit. Yes, that's exactly what I'm noticing too. I'm not noticing any benefit. Now, one of the things that I've potentially heard is that you might not actually see any benefit on a day-to-day basis, but when you withdraw, that's when the benefit is actually applied, and that's when you would actually withdraw larger amounts. only at that time. Is that something you noticed? Or maybe you didn't even notice that? And also, how much of so Bravos Labs, if you're just now saying that, you're maybe even a minute behind Potatoes. That's interesting that you would be that far behind. Interesting. But thank you for responding. That is a kind of a big difference there. All right. I'm wondering also, potatoes, and everybody else too, I guess. I'm wondering if the amount of items that we have in here is going to make that big of a difference. Notice that for my milkweed pool with crystal, see if I can see it here. I've got 1.3% of the pool share, which is not, it's not a lot, but it is more of a pool share than some of the things where I've only got like 0.2 or 0.02% of the pool share. I guess you must track items in versus current amount, as you don't exactly see the fees earned. Fees earned are just added to the current amount. So that's what I was kind of thinking too. And that's one of the reasons I'm tracking this right here on a regular basis, but I'm not noticing these things really going up. And again, maybe the fees are just so small that it would be hard to notice anyway, right? And that's why I'm kind of wondering, maybe if I dumped a lot of milkweed and a lot of crystal, and if I started to get like 50% of the pool as an example, which I don't think I'd ever get that much. But if I got a huge amount of the pool, maybe it would be more obvious that some amount was being gained there. But if 1% of the pool takes, 60 milkweed and 11 crystal, and if we were going to try to get 10% of the pool, that would be 600 milkweed and 110 crystal. And if we tried to get more, then, you're talking, what, 600? No, 6,000 milkweed? And that's just a crazy amount. I mean, I guess we could come over here to the decks and actually look at how much is in that pool, right? So we could come up DFK milkweed and look at the milkweed crystal, this one right here. And we can see that the total pooled crystal is 964. And then there's, the milkweed is 9,800 with 964 crystal pooled in there, right? So, I would have to add 9,000 more milkweed just to get 50% of the pool, because it would be my 9,800 plus all this other 9,800. So I'd have half. But that's a lot of milkweed, right? Potatoes here in chat says, I once had like 75 or 50% of shares on some items and didn't see much benefit. I know Crypto Grady did very good in egg pools. Yeah. And that's what I was kind of noticing. I'm curious as to if he was, I guess he was tracking that well enough. I'm going to assume he was. But I'm also wondering if it was just that other people were selling eggs, and so he lost out on a bunch of crystal, right? Maybe he pulled out more eggs, but he pulled out a lot less crystal, or jewel, or gold, or whatever he was pairing it with, right? In which case, I'm not necessarily sure. If you're after eggs, then yeah, you could say that's a win. But overall, it doesn't mean that your overall value is increased a lot, right? But yeah, Crypto Grady would be someone that I would like to have a little chat with at some point to see if if he was tracking both sides of that and how much he put in and how much he got out from both sides of that pairing. And you're saying in one instance he pulled more eggs and jewel than he put in. Okay, and that's important. That's the important piece to know. Yeah. Yeah, if he did get more eggs and more. Now, potatoes, were you involved in part of that? Or did you hear enough of that story? Could he see in his pool, like I'm looking at the druid right now, could he see that there was more in there? Or it was just when he went to go split the seeds that he ended up getting more? Do you know the details? And you might not, but if you do. All right. But yeah, you're saying here you had even 50 to 75% of a pool and you didn't notice much difference. And yeah, that's what I was saying a little bit earlier. If I've got to put in a whole bunch of crystal, and of course also milkweed and some other kind of rare items, is it really worth the time to do that? Or would I be getting more return on that value quicker just by taking that crystal and putting it into a crystal BTC pool? And I think probably putting it into the crystal BTC pool would probably be getting me more return faster than some of these other kind of cryptic pools. I just woke and don't remember. That's okay. Don't worry about it, potatoes. I didn't mean to put you on the spot there for, a whole series of questions. It's something I probably really should talk to Crypto Grady about directly, since it was his stuff, and he probably remembers a lot more directly what he was doing there, and might even have some paperwork or some spreadsheets or something to kind of follow up with and fall back on. For some reason, some of my messages ain't getting through. Interesting. Bravos Lab. I don't know why that would be. Are they not getting through? I wonder if they're getting held for possible, like, spam or something. I don't see any place where messages are being held. Something, haven't been streaming on YouTube very often, and not for a long time. So there might be some kind of thing in place right now that still has that tries to keep out curse words and spam and other stuff. And of course, usually I like to turn that off because y'all aren't spamming me anyway, and I like to give y'all freedom to say whatever you want to say. But that could be part of the issue, maybe. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of, unless you've got maybe a bad internet connection, which I can't see why you'd notice it here on YouTube and not on Twitch. I remember you saying you didn't like Twitch. I mean, you didn't like YouTube. You preferred Twitch. And so now I'm wondering if YouTube hates you for some reason and is kind of blocking every third thing you say, perhaps. Let's see. Potato says, I still have gold and Shavas and gold and Gaias. I forgot about... I'll check my potato record and get back at you. Very cool. Did you just shadow ban me? No, Bravos, I would not shadow ban you. And no reason would I do that. All right, let's see. Let's talk about a few things here. So the first thing that I want to get at is the... Let me pull up this spreadsheet again. I'm just going to pull it up on another screen. If I do need y'all to see it, I brought it over there where y'all can see it. But right now, I think one of the things that I'm looking at is I want to check... Oh, we did want to check this thing here. And in the Twitch stream we had a little bit earlier, I had added a little bit of liquidity pool there, and I wanted to check the bank to see if the bank was showing up into bank yet. And it still isn't showing up into bank. That seems suspiciously odd to me. Let's just double check what we've got going on. So the account is 7C0. And that is where I'm looking at right now. This is the account 7C0. So why would this account over here be showing crystal and milkweed, which is the different account, right? And this account over here for 7C0 has not been updated yet with that. I don't expect y'all to know the answer, but that is a good question. I don't know why it would not be taking a look at that quite yet. And if we look at the Druid, then there we do have it. We do have crystal and DFK milkweed. All right, whatever the case is, I'm not going to worry about that too much. Hopefully DeBank can, maybe it's just a timing thing. Normally though, DeBank has really up-to-date information. Potatoes here says, funny thing, I actually benefited with illiquidity on Thistle and Jewel. Yeah, I was talking about that on the Twitch stream a little bit earlier, that you could benefit. And one of the things you might maybe not try to do on purpose necessarily, but take advantage of one of the sides if you know is going to be worth more or worth less, and you want more of the other token, right? Or you want more of one token versus the other. When Jewel pumped, due to the tokenomics announced, I pulled out a lot more Thistle, right, and a lot less Jewel than you put in. Exactly right. Thistle pumped and then you sold. Boom. Exactly right. Impermanent loss. Yeah, so that was exactly what I was talking about this morning with getting into perhaps the Crystal and the Clayton liquidity pool. I think Clayton might go down a little bit more here in the short term, and then maybe when it releases Serendale 2.0, we might see a little bit of a jump. So I'm kind of wondering, should I get in that pool? I don't trust Clayton right now. I shouldn't say that. I mean, I trust Clayton as a token, but I have a feeling that Clayton is more likely to go have a downtrend. In fact, if we look at that, since you weren't here for this morning's stream on Twitch, if we look at 3 months for Clayton, it's just going down. And maybe even the last year, if we look at the last year, Clayton's just going down, 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 down. And I have a feeling it's going to continue to go down. When DeFi Kingdoms jumps on the blockchain, maybe there'll be a bit of a bump for a little while. But I'm not sure that Clayton is doing anything else or can do anything even at this time with the global market the way it is also. And of course, lots of other tokens are going down as well. But sometimes we see little bounces in some of those. And there was a little bit of a bounce in Clayton. But I have a feeling it's going to keep going down. And so when that happens, maybe jumping into that pool now, we could take advantage of some of the impermanent loss for the illiquidity. Yeah. Or not the illiquidity, but the impermanent loss for the liquidity pool. Right. All right. Same, I'm holding off on Clayton for now. Very inflationary, and I don't like circulating versus total supply. Yes. And I haven't even looked at that kind of thing for Clayton either. Oops, can I scroll up here? I haven't even looked at that, come to think of it for Clayton, or taken in any of that fully diluted market cap right there. Oh, man. Circulating supply, 3 billion. Total supply, wow. They've got their white paper over here somewhere. I guess we could take a look at, how that's being dispersed, or, man, but you're right. They're going to have to get a lot more users in there. And of course, DeFi Kingdoms is about to pop in there. So that will be a lot more usage, maybe not a lot more users. I think there's only 1,000 of us right now playing DeFi Kingdoms, a couple hundred of us playing DeFi Kingdoms right now. Was at 0.28 when announced. Oh, yeah. Interesting. Let's go back and do all. Yeah, way back here sometime. I don't know how long ago. Are you talking about when Clayton was announced? I don't know when that Clayton was announced, but yeah, at least as far back as this chart goes, it was 6-7 cents down here in this low part. Yeah. Anyway, don't want to talk about that stuff a lot right now. We did a bunch of talk about the market earlier, but yeah, very interesting things. And with your comment on the impermanent loss, I definitely wanted to recall a little bit of stuff that we were talking about, kind of the same thing on this morning's stream. So let's see. One thing that I wanted to do is dump a lot more milkweed into here and see where we're at. I think before I do that, I want to keep record of where I'm at on a couple of other things. And so today is um, 2022, or what's going on here? Yeah, it's 2022-09-28 right now, and the time right here is about 1600 hour. The amount of crystals that I've got at the moment, I think I'm keeping track of that in a little different place. But the crystals that I've got are 104.6, and the gold is 95 because I think I did something with that recently. Heroes should be 46. The runes that we checked this a little bit earlier, but this is another different place in the spreadsheet. So the runes that we've got are, am I blind? Oh, this is B. This is the B account. So this isn't even what I should be looking at anyway, come to think of it. I need to be looking at the other account. This one here. All right, let's refresh that page. So let's see. Bravo Slabs says, problem is, how many players can we realistically expect? So Bravo Slabs, with the way that the game, if you even want to call it a game, we don't have much of a game right now. Some of us are enjoying the bits that we have. Trading could be a game just on itself, right? Trading a stock market. My dad and I, when we were trading together, would kind of call it a game. Just the normal stock market. But we don't have much right now. You're right. It's nothing like Warcraft or anything like that. Speaking of Warcraft, I want to come back to that subject. Let me make a little note to myself to come back to this Warcraft subject. What if DeFi Kingdoms could end up with something kind of like a real-time strategy, right? Real-time strategy with dozens or hundreds of heroes doing their thing. Like some heroes would be, repetitively going and mining the gold mine or harvesting the lumber or all that kind of stuff. Like, I'm thinking of Warcraft 3, right? And I'm going to show a little video and all this kind of stuff for Warcraft 3, which I loved, and I've played that for hours and hours. And of course, this was a, you buy the box set, but then you can play it as much as you want. And I remember playing that game for years and years. And it wasn't a crypto game or anything like that. I wasn't making any money off of it. I just enjoyed playing it. And real-time strategies, if DeFi Kingdoms could turn itself into something like that, could be really kind of cool, right? So anyway, RTS, Warcraft, I wanted to talk a little bit about that. So let me make a note on this other page. But the reason I was bringing that up is because how many players can we expect? Well, if we are provided with a PvP game, or even if DeFi Kingdoms can turn into a real-time strategy, or we can have some aspects of that, then I think realistically we could expect millions of players, right? I mean, we're still in like an alpha stage here for DeFi Kingdoms. The game hasn't even come out. There hasn't really been anything yet. But imagine Warcraft 3 or some other very large game You know, once you get a AAA game developer, designing the fun, playable game aspect to DeFi Kingdoms, which we don't have yet. This is all the back end stuff we're kind of working on now. Then yeah, I think we could have a lot of people coming in here. Let's see. Potato says, made a nice move selling 3 yellows and 36 jewel, then bought back at 24 jewel in Serendale. Oh, wow. Yeah. You know, I've not done a lot of arbitrage stuff myself. I hear people talking about that on videos a lot. It is something a little bit of interest to me, but I'm just doing so many other things at the moment. It's like there's so much I could be doing, but there's just not enough time to do all the different things. So it's really cool to hear about things like this when everybody else is doing, things that y'all are focusing on. It's kind of cool to hear different sides of the same story, right? Different aspects of DeFi Kingdoms. And then also you say real good on carving stones. Yeah. So potatoes. Maybe you can answer a question for me. I'm still a newbie in a lot of things here. For the lesser attunement, or any attunement stones, I guess, but the lesser attunement, not stones, crystals. Let's make sure we're talking about crystals here. For the lesser attunement crystals that I'm using during level up, right? Leveling up my heroes. Is that something that the stone carvers can get for us at all? Or is the stone carver only for enhancement stones during summoning? And the reason that I'm asking is I'm wondering what are the possible ways to get lesser attunement crystals? Is the only way we can get lesser attunement crystals, like new ones into the market, is what I'm saying. Of course, you can go to the market and you can buy some that people have already found, but is the only way that we're adding new attunement crystals is from finding those in the in a quest? Or is there a way to create those somewhere else, like at a stone carver, or in the vendor maybe? All right, so let me get back up to what I was doing over here while you're answering that. So I'm looking at my crystal right here. We've got 46 crystal. And the gold right here is 27,657, which I think I need to start reducing this. I don't know if I need to have this much gold in this bot account. And I've been storing it here every day. But maybe one thing I need to do is move these things out to the other account right after I record how much I've gained. No, Carver Stone only for enhancement stones. Attunement crystals only drop in the training quest. That's what I was kind of thinking. And so I'm wondering, it feels like we've got less attunement crystals in the market lately. And I wasn't sure if a lot of that had to do with the fact that maybe more players were using attunement crystals themselves. Maybe more streamers, content providers like myself and CryptoGrady and Inner Grove, everybody else is talking about using all these crystals for leveling up. Maybe more people are starting to use them now. And so there's more demand and the same small supply. Because I've kind of noticed that prices have been going up a little bit on those attunement crystals. Number of heroes on this thing, again, is 46. And the runes, this is the one where I should have the inventory of the runes. And sure enough, I've got 32 and 7. And so here, I've got a locked and an unlocked balance, which I could keep track of. And I don't think I'm going to keep track of that right at this very moment. For Crystal and ETH, if I look at the liquidity pool right here, I still have 38.61, and I also have 18.84 of that right there. Let's see. Further, some feel as the drop rate for crystals on CV is lower. I thought, as you, too, that increased demand, but not really sure. Very interesting. Yeah, something else. One other possible thing that I will work for Vigors. Right, right. Will work for Vigors. Oh my goodness. One of the other things that I was thinking that it could potentially be is, of course, there could be a slightly lower drop rate. That's always possible. But then there was something else that I thought of also, and that was that maybe the stone carver is a way that you could get those, and maybe since the stone carver hadn't been showing up yet on Crystal Veil, that was part of the problem. But of course, I didn't know if you could even get crystals or not through the stone carver, and it sounds like you're saying you can't. So that is certainly not one of the things that would come into play that I was contemplating could be a reason. So yeah, it might be just that more people are wanting them, and maybe it's also that more people are getting more heroes. It's possible that some people are feeling that they want to level up all of their heroes with these new, not new, but all of their new heroes with attunement crystals, rather than maybe just like the best heroes. And so now, as attunement crystals are getting a little bit more expensive, I'm wondering, maybe I don't want to be leveling up quite as many of my heroes, maybe the ones that aren't quite as good. I won't be spending the attunement crystals on those. That's something else I'm thinking about. Because I do have some slightly bland heroes that I am still using attunement crystals on. And maybe I could save those for the higher valued heroes. Let me see. Let's come into this DFK milkweed pool real quick, and let me look at that right here. I do have... So this, what I'm going to be talking about now is this liquidity pool for crystals and milkweed that I've had for, how long has it been now? 10 days. It's been 10 days. So what do I have in here now after 10 days? Oh. There's a lot more milkweed for sure. I've got 85 milkweed in here now, and I started off with 60. So that's 25 milkweed gain. But here's the potential issue. Even though 25 milkweed has been gained, I'm down quite a bit in crystal. I started off with 11.5, and now I'm down to less than 8.5, 8.3, right? And if each milkweed is about 0.1 crystal, let me keep up with these numbers real quick, and then we're going to check it out to see. But I'm not sure still, even though I've gained more milkweed, I've lost 3 crystals from it, which seems like the whole thing in value has maybe gone down a little bit. 8.342. Let's just go out to a couple places out of the decimal there. Let's check out the trader real quick and just verify again if I wanted to get a milkweed from some crystal, DFK milkweed, and I've gone up 25. I've gained 25 milkweed, but look at that. That 25 milkweed should have only cost me 2.5 crystal. But instead, that would be 10.8. But I've lost 0.7 crystal. So overall, that pool is down 0.7 crystal in value for the whole thing. So I definitely don't feel like I'm gaining anything. In fact, right now, if I pulled out, I would even be losing 0.7 crystal after 10 days of time. And in that particular case, I feel like I could have gained more just by putting it into crystal and BTC liquidity pool. I need to talk to Crypto Grady about that. See, you know, what's up? What's his experience? Because this experience after 10 days is showing me this is not what I want to be doing with my crystal or my milkweed. Let's see. Potatoes Potato says, I was doing crystals on almost all heroes that quickly became too expensive. Yes, yes. When I had less heroes, that is important also. When I had less heroes, I was doing crystals on many of them. And then when I started to get over 20 heroes, I realized I can't be doing them on all, because especially, remember from talking before, many of the heroes that I've been getting are floor heroes, and they're kind of crappy. Well, I shouldn't say crappy, but they're not very useful at the moment for the parts of the game that we have. And, you know, we don't have a lot of the parts of the game. They might be great when it comes out to be PvP. They might be great when more of the game gets released and those heroes can have more value. But for profession questing, which is a big part of our, quote, game so far, they're not good for profession questing. And so I was applying some crystals to those. I'm like, why am I spending this money? Even when I started to get 20 heroes. I'm like, just like you, I stopped and I started focusing a little bit more. But now I'm thinking I need to focus on even less than I already am. Miss the days of 1 to 2 jewel vigors. Yes, indeed. You know, maybe the thing to do would be to send more heroes on those training quests. I think you said the other day you had about close to around 100 heroes yourself. I don't remember, though, how many heroes you said are going on training quests versus profession quests. Do you know how many you're doing each? I think for me, and we can even check. So this account right here is set up. All 46 of these heroes are doing profession questing on this account. But then I have another account over here, DFK2. So we'll switch to that. And these are 3 heroes, but these are only 3. So these 3 heroes only are doing training quests. And of course, if we flip those over, then we'll see here that, you know, we're looking at, 24 strength and vitality for this one. We're looking at 23 strength for wisdom. And this isn't even the best. I've heard several of the better players than I am say that they wait until their top stat is 25. So this one has a 26 endurance, which is good. But the low end of what they are suggesting. And then some of these guys don't even have 25 yet. However, I will say that this is a blue strength, so it does act as a 26, I think. We can come in and check, I'm pretty sure. Let's come over to the strength is done at the docks, isn't that right? Tug of War, start quest, add our Gen0, yeah, 27 even, right? So he's got a 24 strength, but because he's blue, he gets an extra bonus to that. So it really acts as a 27. And then the endurance being a 26, I guess adds 3 to get a 29. And this one is a 24 wisdom. So the green is just adding 1 point to the training quest right there, but not quite a 25. Let's see here. You say stopped selling milkweed and thinking of loading up on loading up at current prices. Yeah, it might be pretty inexpensive right now. I noticed that stamina potions seemed pretty inexpensive. And there was something else. Swift Thistle seemed fairly inexpensive to me. I bought, I think, 30 earlier today. It seemed a lot less expensive to me today than it had been recently. Yeah, I really want another waifu to farm attunement crystals, but not enough heroes to justify. Yeah, that is true. Doing all profession questing right now. Gotcha. Yeah, for right now, so I paid for another bot to come in, for this other account, and only having these 3 heroes in here, that's rough. But I am assuming that I'm going to have more soon, so I don't feel overly bad about it. I do notice here that I've got 1,300 gold. Of course, the training quests are not really giving me anything but gold, except for something here. So for all of the questing so far, I have got 1 lesser insight crystal. So for all of the questing that I've been doing so far, they've only got me 1 of these training quests, 1 of these lesser crystals for the training quests. Yeah. Interesting. I also need to probably pump a little bit of value, a little bit of maybe crystal in here. This account is not gaining any crystal. And we are spending some gas money too, so maybe I need to check out what I've got in here. And, oops, didn't mean to be clicking on that. In fact, I'm keeping track of this somewhere, which maybe I should update this spreadsheet right now as well. So this is my test account. Bravos Labs, lurk. All right, see you in a little bit. So here, let's take a look at what was going on 3 days ago, or 2 days ago was the last time I updated the spreadsheet for this account that we're looking at right now. And let's see what gains I've had in the last couple of days for this account. So the gas last time was 42.39, and now I've got 42.29. So I haven't used too much gas. Of course, there's only 3 heroes in here, right? 42.29. So I've only used 0.1 gas, which is pretty cool. Crystal, I've still got the same 5 crystal that I had several days ago. The gold, though, has gone from 275 gold to now 1325 gold. So that's a gain of 1,100 gold, just about, in 2 days. 1,100, which means about 5,500 gold. I'm sorry, not 5,500. 550 gold every day, about, with those 3 heroes. But still, that is a small amount. Man, 550 gold from these 3 heroes. Oops, I didn't mean to go to the jeweler. Let's check out the marketplace. If we go into the trader and DFK gold, if I'm getting about 550 gold per day for these 3 heroes about, then what's that really getting me as far as jewel? It's only getting me 0.39 jewel a day for the 3 heroes. I know if I sent these 3 heroes mining for jewel directly, I would have gotten a lot more than 0.39 over 2 days' time. Or, no, this is 1 day. Oh, even over 1 day's time, I would have gotten more than 0.39. But again, that depends on how much locked balance you have. So those of you that might have a small locked balance, it's going to be different for you, right? If we take 550 divided by the 3 heroes that are here, each hero is bringing me 183 gold per day, right? 183 gold per day, which means that they're bringing in about 0.13 joule per day or 0.09 crystal per day, which again, oh man, that's just way low. I think I'd rather have them going on training quests, right? Part of the problem here, though, also is not just that it's profession quests would be better, perhaps. But part of the problem is not the training quests themselves. I don't feel the problem is the training quests so much as the problem is I'm sending heroes that aren't quite ready to the training quests, right? If we've only got 27 and we've only got 24 and we've only got 29 for our stats, that's on the low end. And so they're probably not getting a lot of gold back because they're not winning a lot of those check marks. They're only winning, 2 or maybe 3 check marks on average. You got to wait till these guys get higher stats. And then maybe it'll be worth it more. The only reason that they're here, by the way, and not on profession quests, is because I think all these guys are miners. Is that right? Yeah, they're all miners. And I've already got 18 miners on the other account. So if these miners were over on the other account, they would still not be able to do anything towards the locked crystal. And that account only has 2,500 locked crystal in it anyway. So really, rather than 18 miners, with that smaller amount, only 2,500 or so locked crystal, then really only 9 miners are being useful there. So that's part of the issue. I think for the dollar amount of money that I've put in, that maybe what I'm finding is having 100 heroes is just doesn't balance out. Those 100 heroes aren't able to bring in the percentage of income that they could, or that they should be. I'm already maxed out. A smaller number of heroes would still get to the maximization point sooner. Maybe if I put $1 million in here, then having more heroes would make more sense, right? Number of heroes that I have in this account is 3. The locked balance that I have, something that I wanted to do here was to claim the gardens first. So, but this one does not have any gardens. So I don't really need to claim that first. And then the locked balance is 154.39, which is the same as I've had before. I'm not growing any locked balance in this account because I haven't put anything into any of the gardens. Let's see. Let's check out my colorizing. It's great. There we go. Just updating my spreadsheet on the other screen at the moment. Okay. So that is here. The total pool value that I've got is 0. Of course, there's nothing in the pool. And to keep track of this, a couple of days ago, I had 9 and 2, and now I've got 11 and 2. So they are bringing back a couple of runes, which is good. Total pool value is $0. However, they did bring back an insight crystal. So on this account, maybe it would be kind of good to keep track of the lesser crystals that they're bringing back as well.
Interesting. Hadn't really thought about how I was going to track that on my current spreadsheet very easily. Something else that I need to keep in mind here is as these heroes start to level up themselves, let's see if anybody's getting close. This one right here. NX Cradillak is getting close to leveling up, and when she does, it's interesting that they're all female accounts, or male accounts, yes. Interesting. When he does level up right here, I'm going to need something. It's a paladin miner. And let's see what I've got set up for my paladin miners as far as my automated tool goes. If we take a look at, where will I have this information? In my downloads folder, under this right here, and under level up specs, paladin mining. Paladin mining is going to use a lesser might crystal. And so I need to make sure I get at least one lesser might crystal sent in there for that level up. The others are going to be quite a while until they level up, especially this pirate right here. Or he's even a Gen 0, so he'll certainly be using some kind of crystal. 20,000 is what we're looking at, so quite a while to go. But this one only needs 8,000, so he's a little bit closer right there. And then he'll get up to level 6. And this one is, maybe I should have looked at this also, the Priest Miner Allegris. Tell you what, let's hop back over here. That Gen 0 right here is going to be taking a Fortitude crystal. And does Allegris need anything specifically? No. And so then you're talking about a Priest Miner, which is not going to get a crystal. So don't need that. So I do need a Fortitude and a Might crystal over here as the next couple of things. So maybe I'll work on that, send that right now, in fact. Fortitude and a Might crystal. Get those sent over from my main account. Or not main account, but from the account that has a lot of things in it right now, I think. So we're going to copy this address. We're going to come over to the account that I think has a decent amount of inventory for those crystals. Only 3 Fortitude. And probably only 1 Might. Yeah, or 5 Might. Because this is what I was working on this morning also, is making sure that this account had attunement crystals for everybody. So because we don't have a ton, we don't have 12 or 10 as an example, I've got kind of a minimum number here. Then I think I need to be in a position where we're going to buy some more, probably. Let's come over here and look at the account that is not connected to a bot. And let's just see what we've got sitting in it for inventory. I do need some more pages, don't I? I need to find page number 1, 5, and 8. Man. I need to find pages 1, 5, and 8. How are you doing on your pages, potatoes? Have you found all your stuff? Let's see. Might crystals, there's no might crystals here. And there's no fortitude crystals here either. So how much are those going to be? Coming to the trader, crystal is what we want to go for. And we want to have BFK might, M lesser might crystals. And let's get like one of those, two of those. It says insufficient liquidity, but I feel that if it waits long enough, it's going to find something. There we go. So 3.6, man. Well, I definitely want to get at least one. So whatever the price is what I'm going to be buying it for. So we definitely need a might crystal for the hero that's about to level up pretty soon. So it's going to be, let's just say 4 crystal. And then the other one is, and rather than 2 transactions going across right now, I'm going to just send the crystal. So I'm just thinking 4 crystal plus, or let's just buy it right now. Transactions are not that expensive. And then I can keep whole numbers of crystal over there. And the other one that I need is the fortitude, right? So let's get a EFK lesser fortitude, and this is again fortitude, lesser fortitude crystal. Yes, this one. And we're going to get just one of those right now for 3.7. Yikes, man. These things are so expensive. Confirm. And then when we check our inventory, we should see a might crystal, which we can send over to, send the item over to the other account, which is the test account that I've got. Let's approve that contract. And then we'll go ahead and send it once that updates. Something else that I'm not sure how it's going to work out in the end, but you know, I think there are some guilds. And I've got a couple of friends from physical world here that I'm kind of playing around with the idea of a guild, and we're kind of swapping around some heroes and some items and stuff like that. And we're kind of keeping track of who owns what, but then we're just kind of moving things around into different accounts based on like our needs of things. But for example, and then the guild kind of shares or disperses wealth, right? Or the gains that they get amongst the people, according to some various percentages, I guess, or whatever. But I'm wondering about doing the same type of thing, and maybe there's some guilds that are already set up. And so if you, for example, you're saying that you don't have enough heroes to justify another waifu, have you looked into guilds at all? Have any of y'all looked into guilds? Let me just put it that way, because I'm considering looking into a guild myself, trying to get involved with some kind of group that's going to be, it's got their act together a little bit more than I have. I don't know if y'all have played a lot of big multiplayer games where you play in like guilds or teams of people. I played in a few of those. And I've always appreciated being in some of the top guilds in those games. I've learned so much. And of course, it takes a specific type of player. So those guilds generally can only have like 100 players in their teams, right? And if you're not in the top, if you're not one of the top players, those guilds, they want the best 100 people they can get in their slots for the guild or the team, right? The alliance or whatever. And so I've had to be pretty good at a couple of these games that I've played to get into guilds that were in the top 5, I guess. And there have been a couple of games where I played where our guild has been the top guild. I think a Lord of Ultima, if y'all ever heard of that, it was kind of a interesting multiplayer clan team game that was loosely based on the Ultima game series, but it was quite a bit different actually. But I was involved in one of the top, or the top for a while, guilds there on one of the worlds that was being played. I guess they had several worlds, and in those worlds there were a bunch of teams of people in those worlds that were competing, and I was able to get in the top guild for a couple of games there before that whole thing shut down, which was very unfortunate because that was a game I really loved. And then there was another game that I played, Forge of Empires, which I think I still have a little link right here for a bunch of stuff for Forge of Empires. And I jumped in there every now and then, and I was in a top guild for that for a couple of years, and at least a guild in the top 5 for even a couple more years. Crypto Monete, hey, how are you doing? Howdy, howdy. Let's see. So what we want to do at this point is, man, did I send that? Doesn't look like I sent that. Maybe I just approved it. Let's make sure we send that item over. It exceeds the balance. So probably it is sent. I just need to refresh the page. Then the other one is the Fortitude. Let's go ahead and send the Fortitude over as well. We're going to approve the contract, and then we're going to send it. And then that way, my secondary account that is doing training quests has the couple of lesser crystals that it needs to level up the couple of heroes that will be leveling up in some amount of time here. A couple of days, I guess. And let's paste this wallet address into there. And we should see a send here in a minute. I think after this, we're going to do a giveaway too. We've got probably a few people out there lurking, and no need to jump on the keyboard right now. We've still got maybe a couple of minutes, but then let's do a little giveaway for something here. It's not going to be much. It's not going to be a big giveaway. Something else that I've been wanting to do is, and since I already said would do a giveaway after this, I will. But now that I think about it a little bit more, I was contemplating trying to see what we could do about doing a little bit of hype, and maybe doing giveaways, or the value of the giveaways would be comparative to how many people, and maybe that would be it. Maybe the thing to do would be to have maybe 2 giveaways a stream, something like that. And then the value of what's being given away is a little bit more based on the number of people that we can get in the stream. What do y'all think about that for kind of a goal, like a community building goal for the stream? And then that way, everybody kind of gets an advantage off of bringing more people in. Tell your friends, that kind of thing, right? in a way, I kind of feel like if I'm doing a giveaway that has monetary value, some people might not actually want to go tell their friends. I'm not telling my friends, because then it's, there's less of a chance of me winning. So I need to find out a way. I need to think about a way so all the viewers want to share, want to tell their friends, because that ultimately means greater rewards. You should maybe post in Discord main for visibility. Yeah, absolutely. I don't feel really comfortable putting it in the general chat, but I think DFK Discord does have a place to like talk about your projects. And I know that a long time ago when I was talking to Bullen, Bullen was on the stream on Twitch a couple of months ago, and he made some comments at that time about getting back on again and doing some other stuff. But of course, he's busy, and I wouldn't expect that he would remember or anything like that. But he was also very excited about people streaming content, DFK content, and all that kind of stuff. And it struck me, I seem to remember vaguely something about them wanting to know who's streaming so they can point people into those directions a little bit more. So I know that Bullen and the team wants to know about streamers, but I don't like promoting myself too much. So I need to do it properly and humbly, perhaps. All right, let's go ahead and refresh this page. Yeah, something like a shill station or something like that. You're allowed to post, just not spam. That could be. Maybe if I was doing something a little bit more fun rather than just going through my daily grind, then maybe would have something big for that. Of course, I'm sure a lot of people just want to be chatting with other players about DFK, and that's why we're here right now, right? Just chatting about the DFK stuff. Well, let's see. All right, so I sent those two off. Now let's just double check to see that everything's got to the right account, and I'll feel much safer about these couple of heroes. Let's refresh. Oh, maybe we don't need to refresh. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. There's the Might Crystal. Okay, so we got the Fortitude and the Might Crystal with all the other stuff in there now, so that's good. And that means that our couple of heroes are going to have the crystals that they need for the next several days. And as we're coming through here every few days to get the latest information, I should easily be able to see when those are getting used, and we could replenish those as needed. And you're saying you wanted to give me a shout out, actually. Hey, cool. Yeah. That's great. I mean, if y'all are shouting out and spreading the word, which reminds me, I wanted to post a little thing on Twitter, and maybe I want to send out a tweet right now about that, right? So let's see if I can do that. Let's see here. Let's click on my live video, I guess, and come over here and say, let's write up a tweet, I guess. Probably not there, maybe over here somewhere. Yeah, let's do this. Home, James, what's happening? That is happening. Going live on YouTube. About to do a couple DFK giveaways. Come join us. for DeFi Kingdoms chat. All right, and there we go. Let's even say, like this post for an extra raffle entry. Or should we retweet? Retweet? Let's do retweet. Retweet this post for an extra raffle entry. There we go. All right, and if y'all wanted to get access to this tweet directly, so y'all can do whatever you want with it and get your extra entries, there you go. And I've got so few viewers right now, I think we're going to do a wheel of names for y'all, right? Can we do a wheel of names? Wheel of names. So who's all here in chat right now? Potatoes Potatoes is for sure. I think I'm just going to copy and paste. Anybody else here in chat right now? Andy, hey, how are you doing, Andy? Nobel. Andy Sandbox. Welcome on in. Nobel still in the background. Perfectly cool. We're not going to be doing this right now, so if y'all want to chill out and hang out a little bit, feel free to do that. Saw the Twitter post. Very cool. Yeah. We're about to do a giveaway pretty soon. Pretty soon. Crypto Monete is still here. I'm going to add your name to the list as well. If y'all do retweet that Twitter post, it'll get your name in here again. So multiple chances to win. Retweeted? Awesome. I'll check the retweets in just a minute. We'll give other people a little bit more of a chance to get in there. All right. And then Bravos Lab, rude. I see you there, Bravos. We can get you in. I think I also want to do a like I said, a second giveaway today, a little bit later as well. Not sure what we're going to be giving away quite yet. Do I get a Gen0? Probably not. But we are going to do a summons. I'm not going to give away the Gen 1 again today, but we will do a summons today here in a little bit as well. So if y'all want to see, we will be summoning with one of our Gen0s. Absolutely. So if y'all want to check that out, that would be another thing to do. In fact, I guess I can't modify my tweet, can I? But let's also come in here and say, also planning to do a new summons with one of our Gen0s as well. Also, come join the fun. All right, so we got a couple of retweets. Nobel and Andy has retweeted. Very good. We'll get y'all a couple of entries added in there as well. So Nobel and Andy, both of y'all are going to get a double entry for that. And let's give everyone else just another minute or two. Let's see. Crypto Monete, you got your retweet in. Awesome. Yeah, there's not a lot of y'all here. It's a pretty big chance that y'all are going to win. And then also, Potatoes. If you wanted to do a retweet of that tweet that I sent out, I want to give you an opportunity. I haven't seen you chat in a few minutes. And so I'm wondering if when you said, I want to give you a shout out, you might have actually left for a minute to go do some things. And so I want to give you a chance to get back and see that we're doing something there too. So what should I be giving away here? I think we're going to give away something from this stash that I've got over here. Something from over here. And I think it's going to be maybe 20. Let's say 20 of something that I've got quite a bit of. Maybe we'll do another wheel of names. It's not worth it. That's fine. If so, some people might want to save their retweets for something that's a little bit more interesting or so on. You could also be saying, if you retweet, maybe a whole bunch more people are going to come in and then lower your chance. So getting a double chance is not going to be worth it. That could be true. That could be true as well. Let's get the wheel of names set up again. Let's see. Can I right click on this? Can I? Oh man, I'm gonna have to do a whole. Oops, this is not real. I don't know why it went. It's not real. Didn't mean to click on that. We will be clicking soon. Don't worry. Close. Don't worry. We'll be doing it for real soon. I really wanted to come over here and do another thing of Wheel of Names. And I wanted to put some... is this... Can I only have one wheel of names at a time? In other words, if I come here and I put... if I put bloater, does that change this wheel over here also? No, it doesn't. Okay, good. Good. Let's see. Yeah, I won the fake one. That was just a test run, Andy. So maybe that'll bring you luck for the real spin, right? Started with 74% of share, and now I have 32 currently. Oh, I retweeted, by the way. Yeah. We're going to do this pretty quick. So I doubt that we're going to have a whole bunch more people flood in just by the time we do this. So first, let's see what the potential things are for y'all to win. Nothing could be something that y'all would win. A bloater, and this is of course 20 of these things. Let's do some amber taffy. Let's do some blue stem. Amber taffy, blue stem. What else could y'all win here? Frost bloaters, frost drums, iron scale, frost bloater. I need to also keep a frost drums, iron scale. I think I need to keep a list off of the side so I can just copy and paste this list of things that I have enough of that I want to perhaps give out. Oh man, I don't have a lot of this, but I'll go ahead and give away rockroot, offer rockroot as well in this one. And we'll add some different things a little bit later. once I, and some of the prizes will be more valuable than others. And maybe we'll add a fairly decent one. Maybe we'll change some of the numbers in here too. So different amounts for some of these different things could be good. And then spider fruit. Man, I don't think I want to do spider fruit though, actually. At least not this time. A zillion bloaters? Yeah, something like a zillion bloaters, right? I want to be doing regular contests, and so I don't want to give away too much too soon, but if you're sticking around in chat, you will be able to, I can see that over time, y'all will be winning quite a bit, right? I'll be winning quite a bit over time. So let's just stick with those for today on this one right now, and then we'll see what happens in a little bit. And if we get a nothing, let's see, so this is 20 of these bloaters, we're going to give 20 of them. Amber taffy, we're going to give 20 of those. And blue stems, we're going to give 20 of those. And frost bloaters, 20 of those. So right now, just a very simple thing to get us started, but I will kind of make this a little bit more interesting as we continue on. Nothing. I want to give something, I want to have something in here that would say we don't win anything now, but it adds to the pot. Kind of like a lottery thing where if there's no winners a specific week of a lottery, then that pool gets added to the next time. So I want to do something a little bit like that too. Not necessarily this time, but that's kind of my idea. And of course, there's a possibility that nobody's going to win anything there. Let's see. I think the only person that gave away Gen0 was Ogre in a Climb Crypto stream. Yeah, that was crazy. Oh, he gave away a Gen0. Oh my goodness, that's crazy. Hey, I was referring to the item pooling, not where the item pooling. I see. Yeah. Maybe one egg. Yeah, something like that for the future. I don't have enough eggs to feel comfortable doing that now. Look at my eggs. I've got 3 of these, 1 of those, and that's it. Right? I want my eggs. I don't have enough of them to give away right now. It's one of the highest prize values. But yeah, maybe eventually giving away something a bit of more value. But that would be really rough on me right there. At least right at the moment. And then maybe also we could give away some number of crystal or jewel, perhaps as something a little bit more interesting. I'm just here waiting for the moment you decide to teach us how to code. It is coming. It is coming. It is coming. Yes. 42,000 bloaters for culture. Oh my goodness. Wow. That's a lot of bloaters. Potatoes. I hope to be getting up there at some point. Of course, I guess if I'm giving some away, I will never get up to 42,000. But you've been doing this for a while. You want to learn Python? Yeah, we could. I do plan to do a little bit of coding. I don't know if you were here when I was showing this the other day, but I've already got some web pages pulled up for DFK developer docs that I plan to get into, and primitive types for some Solidity stuff for blockchain coding that we have there. And even for some open source DeFi Kingdoms, things that are going to be how we can interact with DeFi Kingdoms, and some programming and some coding for that too. So that is one of the bits of content that I absolutely want to be adding here. Anyway, let's go ahead and get our spin ready to spin. Let's go ahead and check the stuff here. Let's go ahead and refresh this page. We got 4 retweets. So, Zabu, really? You retweeted this as well. Zabu, are you in chat right now? Because if you are, I can add another thing for you. But if not, then you gotta be present to win. So, Crypto Monito, Nobel, and oh, Zabu, that is potatoes. I'm sorry. I didn't even. I thought Zabu might have been from the posting that you did, but that is you, potatoes. So That is you, and then Crypto Monete has put in that as well. So let's pop back over here. Another potatoes entry. And y'all double check my work, because sometimes I am a little off. So this means, let's go ahead and sort this first. So Andy has 2 things. Bravos Labs only has 1. Crypto Monete, Nobel, potatoes, all of y'all have 2 entries. Bravos Labs, did you not retweet? Is that what the issue is over here? That's fine. If you don't want to retweet, that's fine. So that's what we're looking like. Did I miss anybody? Is anyone in chat that is needing to get updated on anything before we lock in these names right here and these numbers? Let's first see what you are going to win. And again, I do plan to have, tell you what, let's do one of these things right here being crystal. And we're going to say maybe 3 crystal, which is probably, I don't know if it's more or less than some of the values for some of that stuff. But we'll add 3 crystal in there for now. And hopefully over a little bit of time, we'll be able to raise this. But one of these things, if we have a larger list, I think I'm going to add 1 item in here that's maybe like a jackpot prize, which is maybe substantially larger than some of the other things. And then there are some things that'll be in here, like the bloaters, that might be kind of a bust item as well. So it'll be fun. This is our first one, so we're just trying to get a feel of what it's going to be like right now. And yes, we are going to shuffle it, absolutely. We're just going to do a little bit of this first. So this is the prizes that we're going to win, and I generally like to do a shuffle, 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 shuffle about 4 times to really get it mixed up. And then let's spin to see what y'all are going to win, and then we'll see who is going to win it. Frost drums, 20 frost drums right there. Okay, 20 frost drums. Who is going to win the 20 frost drums? Let's come over here. We've got those names. Let me just come back up here. Bravo Slab did rig. Okay, let's go, go, go. So let's do shuffle, 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 shuffle. 4 nice big shuffles. And it looks like Potatoes got twice in a row, even with all those shuffles. It's just the way it goes. So let's spin it and see what we get. 20. Oh, no, or Bravo Slabs. It's going to be close. It's going to be so close. Oh, Bravo Slab. Nice. Very good. Woo. Congratulations. 20 frost drums is going right to you. If you want to drop your wallet address into public chat, then I will send those to you publicly. If you prefer to not give your address publicly, send me a private message and I can send you the items in private also off stream a little bit here. But that's up to you. However you feel comfortable with everything. But congratulations, 20 frost drums. Which reminds me, something else that I want to do is I want to set up a new wallet address just for giveaways. And then that way, not only for myself, but anyone else, if you want to drop items or something of value into this specific wallet, then that will be the wallet that we can use on a regular basis to see what can be given away to the community, right? Kind of a community prize wallet. Let's see. I'm going to suppose you might have sent me something in private, so let me pop over here. Oh man, this is on YouTube though. How could we easily send private messages on YouTube? That might be not very easy. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'll need to look into that. Bravo Slabs. Are you looking into sending me a private message? How are you able to do that on YouTube? This goes back to my streaming here on new platforms. maybe someone would have to click on my profile picture and then, oh man. Interesting. Hmm. Does anybody in chat know of a way to send a direct message to somebody else on YouTube? I think I've done that before. Let's see if I can pull up somebody that I've subscribed to. Is there a way for me to send them a message? Man. I don't know. Okay, so I think what we're going to have to do is maybe send me a private message on Discord if you wanted to do that. Maybe it just should be Discord. That would also mean that y'all would kind of like one of the requirements is that you got to be a member of the community, right? If you're going to win the prizes. And that makes sense also. So you've got to be part of the Discord if you're going to win those prizes. And I kind of like that idea because we don't want a bunch of spam or bot accounts to come in to the and start submitting for things. All right, we will be doing another giveaway a little bit later, and perhaps I want to find maybe one larger prize to kind of stash in there also. Maybe what we'll do is we'll have something like maybe 5 crystal, or maybe we'll just keep bumping something up there. But we'll do another giveaway a little bit later. The next thing that we want to do, and congratulations again, Bravo Slab. But I think the next thing that we are ready to do is summon with our Gen0. Would y'all like to do that now? That's the, yeah. All right, let's it's probably best to claim via Discord. Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking. Potatoes, are you? I think you're part of our Discord now, right? Also, I think you can do exclamation mark Discord. Oh, this is also. Oh man, this is a command on Twitch. I doubt we're able to do that here on YouTube. But let me just try it. Nope. On Twitch, we can do exclamation mark Discord and see the Discord thing, but I guess not here. But I think that you're a member of our Discord already. I think you came in just the other day. J-Dub came in. But maybe not. Invite people, copy, paste. I guess I need to get that set up. But if you're not a member of our Discord already, then you can check that out. And we've had a community growing for almost a year now. And we've got some stuff in there. We have some sections for DeFi Kingdoms and Sandbox and some other stuff in there. But you're welcome to join, and that could be kind of good for getting into the community a little bit. All right, Bravos Labs, I'm still not seeing anything from you directly. So we'll just wait. But you did win. Congratulations again. Let's talk about the Gen0 summoning now. I think what we want to do is probably look at our seer and gardening. What do y'all think? Which account am I trying to get to? I'm trying to get to, oops, this account right here. And we are going to look at the heroes. And I think we want to be looking at Harsalt right here. So Harsalt, can I do a summons with them on a quest? I don't know. I don't think I've tried to do a summons with someone on a quest before. Select hero. Okay. All right. I like that. So we're going to do Harsalt right here. And unfortunately, still a level 3. I'd like to get these guys up to at least a level 5, but preferably level 10 as quickly as we can. So here is our Gen0 Seer Gardening, which of course does make a good match. He's got a green Wisdom, which is also a bonus there for a gardener as well. And if we look at the growth stats for that, then the luck for the blue is only a 37. So, man, not a great thing to have a blue bonus on, but still pretty good. 80% for wisdom. Vitality for a gardener, 50% there. 70% for luck. And agility at 55 and 50 for the endurance. So, seers make pretty decent gardeners. Absolutely. In fact, I think gardening is the seer's best quest thing or profession. So if we look at this, a seer got 130. If we take a look at the mining, it's all the way down here at the bottom for foraging, and also down here pretty low for fishing. So gardening certainly is their best. And as far as a Gen0 goes, then it's pretty high. I mean, you've got knights, berserkers, and warriors for mining that are good, but for the top 3 for gardening, priest, seer, and wizard, then seer is in that top section also, right? And then for foraging, you're not going to have a lot of Gen0s, because Gen0s are these basic classes: archers, wizards, priests, seers here, pretty low on the foraging. And then of course, if we had a thief, that'd be good there too. But we're looking at the seer and a gardener for our Gen0. It is also ID 1355. And I think, I'm almost positive that is the ID for a crystal veil, especially being a seer. So let's just come over here and see what can we do with our 1355. And let's just do a compare right here. Yep, Harsalt. So this is the one that we want. We have a gardener. There's a couple of things that we can do, right? So I do have adding a hero of mine. I do have a berserker. And this berserker right here is also a gardener. And if we're really trying for a gardener, this could be a really interesting and perhaps good combination. Right? Because we're pretty sure to get a gardener, and the other thing is, with a berserker and a seer, we could go after a shapeshifter as well. What do you think? Think that might make a good match? Let's just plug that in and let's see. I think that's the right number. Yeah. Ramnella. Pipsaw says, you don't try to match for advanced abilities. You know, I've been hearing more about that lately. But I'll be honest, and I have not been. And so if we scroll down to the bottom, what Potatoes is talking about, if y'all are not aware, is there are these abilities right here. Basic and then advanced. And of course, ultimately, possibly trying to get to transcendent is what we want to get to. Just like you've got basic class heroes, and then you've got advanced, and then elite, and then exalted. Then We've got the same type of thing here. I don't know what the third level is. There's basic, advanced, there's something at third, and then there's transcendent as the last one right there, right? 9A7A. Hey, how are you doing? Yeah, we're doing a little bit on YouTube, 9A7A. You just barely missed our first giveaway. We will be doing another giveaway here in a little bit. But welcome on in. Absolutely. How are you doing today? So 9A7A, what I'm doing is I'm doing a morning stream, at least morning for me. It's like 5:15 p.m. my time right now. I'm doing a morning stream on Twitch, and I'm doing an afternoon stream, evening stream, early evening stream on YouTube. And I'm trying to, some of the people that have Twitch accounts, I want them to feel comfortable there, and a lot of the Twitch folks. And then there's a lot of DeFi Kingdoms community that's already on YouTube. And there's a lot of content creators for DFK already on YouTube. So I thought maybe I would help those people out. I'm finding that a lot of the DFK people don't even have Twitch accounts. Yeah. And I think that could be one reason that we're not seeing a lot of DFK people in our chat for a while, is because most of them just don't have Twitch accounts. And maybe it's too much trouble to create a Twitch account just to watch me or one streamer or something. Yeah. Bravo Slab says 97A. Apparently DFK content gets more traction over here. Yeah, apparently it does. And so I'm all for that if I need to, do a little bit here. And normally I wouldn't be streaming twice a day anyway. So this is just an extra bonus stream just to see how it goes. Gonna shoot you ability tree on Waifu Discord. Thank you. Yeah, that would be cool to look at. Doesn't seem to be too much on Twitch. Yeah, I think I might be the only DFK content on Twitch. I don't know if anyone else streams DFK on Twitch. So in a way, if there's only one person, some other viewers might not want to create an account just to watch one streamer. Even though I stream quite a bit, they still might not be aware of it. Richard has a channel, but he doesn't seem to use it. Yeah, and Richard, I don't know if Richard, also something about Richard is, well, a couple of things about Richard, I guess. One is that he just started his Twitch account right there as he was kind of joining our stream a little bit. And he was talking about trying to get a Twitch account started. So he didn't have it very long before he started hopping on our streams a little bit, and then he was working on his own. And then also, is he still streaming anything, actually? I haven't seen any updates from him in a long time. I did reach out like a week ago, and he seemed to indicate to me, I didn't want to press him too hard and kind of be too intrusive, but he gave me the impression that he was busy doing other things. And it could be just that when crypto took a dump in general and the market crashed, then he just got involved in other things. That's kind of the impression that I got, although I haven't gotten a direct answer from him on that. But I haven't seen much from him lately. I haven't seen anything of him since early summer. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing too. But that's the same for a lot of crypto streamers or DFK content providers as well. 2 or 3 months ago, there were several people providing DFK content on YouTube, and now some of those people haven't had a new video in like 3 months, right? I think a lot of that just has to do with either other things coming up in their lives, or perhaps even just crypto, taking a dump there. Let's see. You are saying that you're going to send that to me on what? What was it? On the Waifu Discord. Okay, going to shoot you ability tree on the Waifu Discord. Let's go ahead and check that out real quick then. Waifu Discord. And is it this? That's not it. In the master room? Or maybe you just haven't sent it to me yet. General chat? I'll just wait for you to tell me where it is. You might not have had a chance to send it yet. Okay, so Yes, so as we're about to do another Gen0 Summons, certainly trying to pair up advanced abilities is something that I am interested in, but I don't think I have enough enough maybe experience or enough heroes that have a lot of this to really worry about it too much. So here I've got a 17, almost 17.5% chance to get a passive 2 on my advanced 3. So that's pretty good. There's minor chances for this, but you know, to me, I think getting a 86% chance to get a gardener, 30% chance to get a seer gardener, 14% chance to get a shapeshifter. If we do end up with that shapeshifter, which we do want, then shapeshifters aren't too bad. Shapeshifters are kind of middle of the road of everything, if I remember correctly. There's a shapeshifter for mining, shapeshifter for gardening, shapeshifter for foraging, which is the worst of them, and then shapeshifter for fishing. So it's, again, still in this middle of the road type of area. Shapeshifter isn't terrible at anything, but it's also not great at anything. All right. So if we do end up with a shapeshifter gardener, I think the fact that it's a shapeshifter will still outweigh anything else. And again, some heroes, I think, aren't really meant to worry about questing too much. Questing is a small part of the game, so I'm not overly worried about that. If anyone wants to suggest to me a better hero to pair with, I am all for it. So right now, I'm considering doing one of my own heroes right here, and that way we can save the hiring fee, but I'm not opposed to hiring a hero either, right? I'm just looking at the easiest pickings for me at the moment. And so it looks like we are going to be using Harsalt for sure. So it's a Seer Gardener. So what would be the best thing to pair with a Seer Gardener? Well, right off the bat, I might be thinking about a Berserker Gardener. So we've got the 86% chance of gardening. And then we also have the percent chance for the Shapeshifter. Let's see some other things that we could get with that. And in the meantime, if y'all want to look around a little bit, if y'all know the way to scout around for other heroes to maybe pair up, feel free to be looking into that, and we can take some other examples and maybe look at another one or two before we finally decide who to pair with. Berserker Gardener sounds funny. It does, absolutely. But that Berserker Gardener is actually a Gen0 that I'm considering selling, by the way. Considering selling that Berserker Gen0 Gardener. But in this particular case, it's giving us a great chance for gardening, and hopefully we can get a Seer Shapeshifter, right? There's some other things that we might get also. Priest Pirate are some other possibilities, and a Priest could make a pretty good gardener. Pirate is not going to make a good gardener at all. All right. What else could we possibly get with this? We're going to have a, look at this, 5.3% chance for a legendary and an additional 2.67 chance for a mythic. All in all, that's about an 8% chance for a legendary mythic, it to be legendary mythic. That's pretty substantial, right? That's pretty good. 37% chance for wisdom on that boost, which is really good for a gardener as well. And then of course we've got a 10% chance for vitality. Over here, it looks like we've only got a 0.7% chance for wisdom and no vitality. Looks like we're looking at luck as the big boost right there. All right, so that's what we're looking at if we decide to go with the current matchup that I'm looking at right at this moment. So let me catch up in chat and see what y'all are saying. Y'all might have maybe a better idea than this for what to use as our second side for the summoning. Let's see. Let's see here. Not complex really. Plus I forgot what tool you can use to enter the OX and gives you matches. Yeah, there's I can't remember. Is it your next hero? Is that it? Something like your next hero? I generally have a sheet here. There's infographics, adventures in DeFi Kingdoms. It's not it. I think there's a, maybe is it summoning chances? Let's come over here real quick and look at this thing. No, this is just DFK Professions. I forget what it's called. Maybe y'all will, maybe someone in chat will know and can throw it out there, but it has something to do with like next hero, like your next hero, or just maybe DFK next hero, or I forget what it is. And I'm not sure that I've got a link for that actually. And I'm not sure if that is actually the one that you can just throw in yours and it's going to give you other things. There might be some other link that does it. Let's see. Let's just catch up in chat real quick. How'd your summons go the other day? 9A7A says, it went really well. You're talking about the one that we did for Gravox? Turned out really good. So we summoned a, we were pairing our Berserker Miner with something else. And I think it was a Warrior Miner. And there were lots of really good chances. It was going to be hard to fail on that one. I think we had like an 86% chance to get a Miner and probably about an 80% chance to get a Berserker or a Warrior or something. It was fantastic chances for everything. He turned out to get a really good hero. Yeah, and I can show that to y'all in a little bit if you want to see it, but let's just focus on this right now. You missed the results. Yeah, we can check it out in a little bit. Already sent that off to him. But we can pull up, or I can try to find that hero ID and we can check it out. Let's see. Can't find it. Try DFK Expert. That could be it. I don't really know. Is it this? That's something I got from DFK Expert, but just go to this. No. Let's take off that little first part there. Let's see, DFK guides, heroes, growth stats, marketplace, upcoming features. So I don't know if it's here. Pets crafting, duels. This is just more of a blog type of a thing. I don't think that's it. Send on waifu. Okay, let's check out what you've sent there. Let's see. Here we go. Was it in the... Where did you send it on waifu? Master room. Okay, here it is. All right. So, oh yeah, that's it. So we've got our basics, advanced, elite, and then transcendent. So just like we've got our hero advancements, we've got this mutation advancement as well. So again, I've not been doing a lot with this tree, even though some people, Potatoes, I remember y'all talking about this on, I guess it was Crypto Grady's stream. I guess he was actually the host of it. And what was it, Starbuck and you and of course Grady and Mosh were having that conversation over there, and y'all really played up trying to get to the transcendent a lot. And then of course it really brought another level of me thinking about some stuff to this. But for me today on this Gen 0, do you really think I should be thinking about that a lot? Of course, maybe you're not the person to ask necessarily, because I think all of y'all were like, yes, always do that for, for every single thing. So your answer is probably going to be yes all the time, right? But like for this guy right here, should I really be looking at that that much. So we've got these things. And I think that the matchup here is, can I repeat the question? Yeah, I guess the question is, you seem to be very passionate about going for that transcendent ability, which of course we really don't know what it does, although we're all extremely hyped on it, and I'm sure it's going to do something fantastic, right? Just like the Dread Knight is a super fantastic hero at that level of a class, right? But here, I've got 17.5% chance to get advanced 3 and a couple of other advanced things here. How much more should I really be trying to match up a hero to pair with this for a chance at this advanced or transcendent ability, as opposed to just wanting to make sure that I get a, because how many, I guess for me, pairing a seer and a berserker together to try to get a shapeshifter could be a pretty substantial step up in the first place, right? And then them both being gardeners pretty much guarantees us locking in a gardening, which I think is probably nice as well. Let's see, imagine a big overpowered dude stumbling around in turnips with a battle axe. 97A, trying to imagine a berserker doing gardening. Absolutely right. You are right. The idea or the mental image of a berserker, right? And also imagine not just having the battle axe itself, but just a berserker in general. Seems very chaotic, right? To be fiddling around with seeds and gardens and turnips. Yeah. Let's see. DePego says, Crystal It, Jewel, and do you know the maximum supply of crystal? Yeah, we could check that out. Maximum supply of crystal. Are you familiar with CoinMarketCap? We can come over here and see a little bit about what is, oh, I guess it doesn't have circulating or fully diluted market cap here, does it? That's interesting. Yeah. So at this very moment, I do not have an answer for you for how much crystal and how much jewel is in the market right at the moment. And also, I think that's changing a little bit with the, let's see, is this the documentation page? There is, or maybe it's a Medium page. Maybe I should look up Medium for DeFi Kingdoms, right? And so, official DeFi Kingdoms Medium page, I guess it's ending up to be the same thing, probably. Serendale shutdown, we could look at that. And somewhere in here, it has a infographic. Let's see where it is. Serendale 2.0. There's an infographic in here that talks about how the distribution is going to be happening. So something in here talks about the number of cap that is soon going to happen. So what it is right at this very moment, I don't know exactly what the caps are today, right now. But as we look at this, we see that crystal update. Crystals to remain in the gameplay, X crystal to be phased out. The new cap of 250 million, 125 locked. Jewel becomes 125 million locked crystal, and so on and so forth, right? So here is a good infographic if you really need to read up on what those values are going to be in the future soon. But as far as what they are today, right now, I don't exactly know. But this is going to be happening over the next month, perhaps, and maybe that's more of what your question is about, right? Crystal or jewel, as far as a something to look at longer term, I think is what you're asking there. I think it depends on what you want to do. Are you just looking for a value to invest in? That's that's a little hard to say as well. I think there's going to be different type of value in each of those coins. Jewel is going to be deflationary. There's going to be a less supply than there is even right now. So I'm thinking in a longer term play, Jewel might have quite a bit of decent value, but I don't know if we're going to see like a $100 Jewel as an example. I'm not sure we'd see a $100 crystal, but maybe it's possible that we might see a higher value crystal, since it is going to be the power, since it is the power token and is going to continue to be the power token in the game. That's rough to really say. I'm not sure I would choose one or the other. Why not both? Maybe that would be the answer. Both. Right? Both. I want to have a big bag of crystal and I want to have a big bag of jewel. And probably I want to have, right now, I'm thinking kind of even distributions of that, I think. Personally, I'm into jewel a little bit more, but the main reason I'm into jewel a little bit more is because I'm more interested in the governance aspect and the fee sharing of that it's going to provide, right? So I think I might get more value from the fee sharing than I will from the playable game token right there, right? Let's see. Sorry, let's see. Only like 35 something heroes with transcendent abilities. You mean, Potatoes, are you saying that there are ever only going to be 35 heroes ever with transcendent ability? Or there are right now only 35? I can't imagine that there would only ever be 35. Moving forward, I'm only going to summons with advanced ability chances, but it takes time to match the classes and the mutations unless deep pockets, right? And I guess that's part of the thing too. I'm not overly focused on that part right now. Y'all went into some really interesting stuff in that debate, by the way. But a lot of that seemed like it was way more, there's a lot more detail in all of that than I was particularly ready to get focused on, at least right now. But it was really good. Yeah, Bravo Slab saying, it might take years for them to even come up with what those abilities could be in the game. I don't necessarily think it's going to take years, but in fact, I would hope that some of those abilities would even be described when the PvP, when Wisdom Games puts out the PvP, maybe in, a month or 2 months or 3 months at the most. I would hope that we would see something about at least some of those abilities then. Total right now, quite rare. Yeah, 35 right now is quite rare. Yeah. So guys, we're about to do a Gen0 Summons. And looking at this, should we look at anything else right here? It seems to me that a hero that we would want to match up with our Gardening Seer would probably be a Berserker, right? Some kind of Berserker. And also, why not go for Gardening? So could we find, what would be better? What could possibly be better than matching us up with Remnella right now? A Berserker, which could get us a Shapeshifter, and a Gardener, which just compounds the gardening. Legendary also, so we have a super high chance at a Legendary or Mythic. Good stats for all of this kind of stuff as well, right? As far as the class, Berserker, Pirate, Warrior, we have gardening here. We have a little bit of foraging there. But for this one, we have gardening, right? Potato says, definitely some time. I think best to take the advantage of it now. Yeah, I do agree. For some of y'all to focus on that now, those people, I think that those people that are focusing on it now, like Potatoes and Mosh and Crypto Grady and all those people that are looking at that right now, they are definitely going to be far ahead when those abilities actually come out. Yeah, they are definitely going to have an advantage over the rest of us who are not looking or gaining on that. I think this is only, the summons that we're about to do right now is probably only my 5th summons ever. And so right now I'm not overly focused. There's so much other stuff to be looking at that that's just not on my radar at the moment, trying to get transcendent abilities. All right. But yeah, for those of you that are looking at it, I think that is going to really skyrocket y'all to some good stuff. Scooped up an elite ability common for just 30. And see, this is part of what I'm talking about, potatoes. Right now, I don't think a lot of people are looking at that kind of thing. And so, you know, I think for me, it might be easier for me to scoop up something with higher abilities than try to spend the time and energy to summon with those things that I can't really even use right now. Right? Bravo Slab says, let's check your options here. And what do you actually want, a miner or what? For this particular case, we know for a fact, Bravos, that we are going to be using Harsalt, the Seer Gardener, to summon with as one of our pairs, right? Or one of the sets in our pairs. And so if we're going to be doing that for sure, then what are the potentials, what would be the best potentials to match up with a Seer and a Gardener? And in that particular case, I cannot help but think it would be a Berserker Gardener. Right? I mean, Berserker and Seer is going to get you the Shapeshifter. So you'd probably want to at least try for the advanced class. So in that case, if that's true, you'd want your main other class to be the Berserker. No other options there, right? Does anyone have anything to say about that? We want this guy on the right to be a Berserker for sure. If the guy on the left is a Seer, anyone want to have different input to say that this shouldn't be a Berserker over here? I'm open to ideas. And then, what should be the profession? Well, we could have we could try to get a Berserker that is a Forager. We could try to get a Berserker that is a Gardener or a Miner. I think Berserker Miners might be more common. But if we do that, then I think that we're mixing up our chances even more to end up with either a Seer or a Berserker and a Miner or a Gardener. Whereas here, I think we're focused a lot more on gardening. And I'm not sure that that's a bad thing or not. Also, we've got legendaries. I guess maybe the other option would be to try to get a mythic hero. If you wanted to look at our possibilities, though, just to see what they are, then we can come over here and we can say, I want to hire from Crystal Vale definitely a Seer this time. I mean, a Berserker this time. Only a Berserker. With what profession? Do we care about the profession? Maybe we don't care about the profession. And we want it to be a Gen0. And let's say that we want only legendaries or mythics, because if it's not a legendary or mythic, then why not just use the one that I'm already talking about? Right? So let's go ahead and do a search for that. And let's see what's out there. So these are the only 4 that we have to choose from. We could get a Berserker Thief, a Berserker Gardener right here with mining. Or we could get a Berserker Miner with more mining. We could get a Berserker, more mining, and a Berserker with fishing. So are any of those Berserkers better than our Berserker Gardener? I don't think so. They're all under level 10. So that doesn't help us as far as adding any extra or any additional Gaius crystals. SB2 in this particular case, we have a wisdom for that one, which might be a little interesting. It is a mythic there. But they want 75 crystal just to be able to use that. So that's going to add 75 crystal to our cost. Just for what? So what do y'all think? I'm thinking none of these four are worth it. But I'm open to hearing what y'all think as well. Let's see. Potatoes says, good point. I'm a gambler at heart. I guess, yeah. And there's no problem with that at all, right? No problem with that. In fact, I'm glad to hear that some of y'all are really looking at kind of fine-tuning and getting the information. I learned so much from that debate. I'm glad that some people are having those conversations. I'm glad some people are trying to figure out what it is that y'all can put together. And then as y'all are summoning those heroes, what's my Gen0 again? The Gen0 is, let's pop over here. The Gen0 we're absolutely using is that number right there. 1355 on Crystal, or from Crystal Vale. That is one that we're absolutely using today. And I'm thinking about just pairing them up with Remnella here. The other one, if you wanted to look at to see if your potential option is better than the one that I'm about to use, let me give you this other number right here. That's the other option that I'm going to pair with, unless somebody thinks that they can find a better match. But this is going to cost me only 60 crystal to do this match right here, because I own both of those Gen0s. If we try to use something from over here, it's going to cost me an additional 50 or additional 75 or 100. That'll certainly raise the cost quite a bit. And I don't think that what we're gaining from here is necessarily worth it. But I'm open to hearing what y'all think. And I'll give you another minute or two to chime in if anybody wants to research that real quick. But we are about to do a summons with probably these two Gen0s. For anyone who might just be coming in, let's look at this again a little bit more closely. 86% chance to get a gardener. I think that's pretty good. Forging, 10% chance for that. Legendary and mythic combined is about an 8% chance to get one of those, which I think is a pretty decent number. I'm hoping that we don't get a Berserker, because a Berserker Gardener is not great. But we've got a 30% chance to get a Seer, 14% chance to get a Shapeshifter, and a 9.5% chance to get a Priest. And all of those are fairly decent. Priest, Seer, Shapeshifter, fairly decent for that. Certainly the fact that the Shapeshifter is going to come in as an advanced class is going to make up for the fact that it's a little bit lower on this list. But the Priest and the Seer would definitely make what I would call good gardeners. There's not many classes that are better than the Priest and the Seer at gardening. Not many. All right. And then Bravo Slabs is saying 14% chance for the advanced is kind of low, but you know, like I was saying, I'm not really looking at that. Do you have so Bravo Slabs, what would you pair better? I mean, what would you use? Or maybe even Potatoes, I should ask you that. What hero would you use if you were trying to match up 1355? Going for the cheapest might be the ideal cost-wise, and I'm not necessarily trying to go for the cheapest, right? And if we have to pay a little bit more to really get a massive, a much better hero, I'd rather at least consider that. But here's what I'm seeing, right? Here's what I'm seeing. And that is, these are the four that I could hire, right? These are the four that I could hire, and I don't see any of these four being a better option than the one that I'm about to use. Potato says, my process is still manual, like a caveman. Sorry, don't worry about that. I'm actually just now getting into summoning abilities. Oh, interesting. Yeah, it is kind of a new, if you want to call it a new field. Have yet to watch the latest crypto Grady stream. Yeah, I generally try to keep up with his stuff on a regular basis, but man, he puts out so much content, right? Before I got onto this, I was only matching. Yeah. Primary and subclass mutations. Yeah, so the primary class mutations, I guess, is something we're looking at with the shapeshifter. The subclass mutations, haven't really thought about that, but that is a good point. Let's take a quick look again. Subclass, we've got a chance for a warrior, a seer, knight, so there's not really any chance for a subclass mutation. And there is a 46% chance to get a warrior as a subclass, but I'm not paying a whole lot of attention to the subclasses. If we do end up getting a berserker, then maybe having a warrior could be good for the subclass anyway, especially when it's going to be a gardener. And then maybe we just wouldn't raise this hero up caring too much about the profession. Maybe we would just want to try to keep him focused on his berserker class, right? Let's see. Bravo sets and then let's summon. I agree. I think probably, unless y'all can come up with a better hero ID number, I think this one that we were looking at is probably really good. 10 of 10s with advanced subclasses sell very well. Advanced subclasses. That, I haven't been looking at that, Potatoes, but you and the other guys, y'all are really opening my eyes to a lot more. There's just so much to keep track of, and sometimes it takes me a little bit of time to fully dive into something. And easy to match might want to look into that. That's true. Yeah. I might want to spend more time thinking about the pairs that I'm doing, but again, like you're saying, that generally takes a lot of time. And Potatoes, I think you were mentioning earlier, there is a website probably, or a tool that will give you the best heroes to match up with. I remember seeing that. Oh my goodness. And it gave you a list of percentage probabilities of what you would get. I remember that, but I don't remember the link right off the top of my head. I guess we could go into DFK Discord and ask, but I'm not interested in doing that right at this minute. But that would be the way to do it if y'all were really curious. In that particular case, I think we're ready to do a summons. So let's select this hero right here. If we summon these two together, can we add some tiers? No, both these are... we need to have... Do I not have any tiers? These two guys... They are on the account with the bot right now, which is the potential thing. Potato says, just throwing out options. Yeah, absolutely. I love to hear those options. Indeed. I learn new things every day. It said, like you said, I love that there are multiple avenues on all personal preferences and strategies. Indeed. And I really love that when y'all throw out ideas and suggestions, that I generally learn new stuff every time that y'all do. So y'all keep on throwing out the suggestions for things. Looks like this particular one, and I think we would want to use a stone on this as well, an enhancement stone, which I don't have on this particular account. So on this particular account, I'm going to need to send, I think 10 tiers. This guy is a level 7, so he can have 10 more tiers. And that does go to the primary. which unfortunately I think might be strength. Let's flip this card over. Yeah, primary growth stat is strength. So, you know what? I don't actually think that I'm going to use tiers on this one. Because again, I'm really expecting a gardener, and I'm hoping for a seer or a shapeshifter, which isn't going to matter about strength. So I'm not wanting to use the tiers, which would just give me an extra strength point. Although tiers are really cheap. Maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe I'll just send 10 tiers anyway, and we'll get the gardener an extra strength. It's not always, again, profession is a very small part of the game, so he's not going to be gardening forever. So maybe having a little bit of strength for whatever it is could be good. All right, so we'll do that. 10 tiers is cheap. So the next thing is enhancement stone. I do want to use enhancement stone. I'm expecting to get a gardener. And so I think what we want to do, and if I'm expecting to get a gardener, I'm hoping for a seer or a shapeshifter. Maybe we should just go ahead and get a stone that's going to help with our wisdom, right? Of course, y'all were talking about some pretty interesting strategies the other day where you're using the stone on your second, well, in this case would be intelligence, but if I wanted to do it, maybe I would use a stone, a might stone. I'm sorry, not a might stone, but a vigor stone for vitality, and kind of boost the vitality up a little bit more, which of course all heroes could use, even if he turns out to be a berserker. We've already got an 80% wisdom right there. Maybe vitality or vigor stone would be good for this. I'm not sure if I have one of those. We can check. So maybe either that or a stone for our wisdom. So that's what we want to look for. I will need to transfer those over. And also we've got 46 crystal over here, which means we don't have enough for the summons. So I'm going to need to, wow. One of these heroes, let's flip these over. One of these heroes is mine with only 8. Look at this guy. This guy that's only 8 summons so far. So he's a little cheaper. He's only going to be 22 crystal instead of 30. So 52 crystal. I just need a few more crystal, but I do need that. Let's look at our enhancement stones, but I don't think I have any over here right now. And then 10 crystal. So that's what we're going to move over. So let's go over to the other account. What's going on here? Begin summons. I don't want to begin summons quite yet. Let's move over to this account. What's going on here? And we're going to refresh that. Oops. I probably need to grab the wallet address for that before I come over here. And then let's go ahead and send some things over to that account. Let's look at our inventory. Let's send 10 tiers. Send items. I guess we're going to approve that contract first. Let's see, Potatoes says, since I'm focusing on PvP for all heroes regarding a profession, I love Vigor Stones as a safe bet. Yeah, I think that's kind of good too. Benefits every hero. I do agree with that. Keep in mind, PvE also, so I don't categorize questers versus PvP. Yeah, gotcha. Absolutely. I sold all of my Vigor Stones too early. They're now at 19. Oh, man. Yeah. It's hard to tell where the top is, right? It's hard to tell where the top is on some of this stuff. We're going to send 10 tiers over to the Rocky 808 account. Bravo says, take a look at that. And I'm not sure what that means. Maybe you tried to send a link and maybe links aren't coming through. I don't want links to be blocked for y'all, but maybe they are at the moment. I did a 3x. Oh my goodness, that is still really good. Yeah. Let's see what we've got as far as stones go over here. And I don't have all my stones memorized. Fortune stones, insight stones. That is going to help the wisdom. So we might want to use that if I don't have a like a vigor stone, which I don't really see. That's swiftness, I think. Yep. I do not see a might stone in here to send. And I'm happy sending wisdom. So I think this is the one that we're going to send. And then we're just going to expect that we're getting a gardener, which, I mean, we got 86% chance to get a gardener. So a gardener with extra wisdom is always going to be great. And we're also probably hoping for a seer. So that would be really good. Seer Gardener Gen 1 is what we're looking at. Hopefully mythic, but legendary. We still have a very large chance to get legendary. I think this is going to be a good draw. I haven't had a good draw in a while. We're going to see some good stuff. 2 legendary Gen 0s coming together. Oh yeah. So that is pending. That transaction should take place pretty soon. And then the only other thing that I want to send is some crystal. Let's come over here to MetaMask and assets and crystal. Ooh, I don't have crystal on that list. Man, how can I not have crystal in MetaMask? Let's go ahead and go to the marketplace and do some wrangling here real quick. What else do we got? We got some tiers, let's say 10 tiers into crystal, and approve and confirm. Let's see. Bravos says, yep, most of my messages ain't getting through. You know, I don't know. Bravos. Of course, you were saying earlier that you don't trust YouTube. I wonder if this is either part of the reason, or maybe, you know, YouTube's getting back at you for saying that, for not letting a lot of your messages through. I can't imagine that you're using words or saying things. So try to send a link. Just send me a simple link to something right now. It's not me. I'm not doing anything, dude. So just send me a link for something, and let's just see if YouTube is accepting links for anything. And also, Potatoes or anybody else who's sitting around in chat, if y'all want to send me a link for something, go for it. I was able to send what I think was a link earlier, but I'm not sure that I've seen links from anybody else. Maybe links aren't getting through, and I'll need to look at that if that is the case. I'd like for someone other than 9A7A, if you want to send a link also, just to see. Because part of the issue is I want to make sure that it's not just Bravos that's having problems sending links, but maybe if anyone else, can anyone send a link in chat here? If not, then it sounds like I need to find out how to give y'all the ability to post links, because I definitely want y'all to be able to post links. Any link is fine. Google.com, it doesn't matter. Just a link to something. Well, any link. Oh yeah, 987A says maybe I should qualify that, right? Let's not do porn or any of that kind of stuff. We don't need that. But yeah, any just other kind of random generic link is fine. But 987A, maybe that would be a good qualification. Let's make sure it's a rated G link, okay? Y'all are crazy. Try a Twitter link. Yeah, just try any Twitter link to anything is fine. I posted a Twitter link earlier and I thought it went through. Did y'all see the Twitter link that I posted? Maybe that would be one of the questions. Was I able to post my Twitter link that y'all could see? Rating a bit dubious on it. Rating a bit dubious on it. Oh, they like their own link. I see what you're saying, yeah. I thought of linking Brazil versus Germany World Cup. Nice. Nice. So here it gives me the option to add Crystal to MetaMask. So yeah, that's what I want to do. I'm surprised that Crystal wasn't already on my MetaMask for this, but this is kind of a new wallet address. So maybe that's what the situation was. All right, now let's finally get back over to here under assets. I can finally see my Crystal. And I think we needed like 50 Crystal. We had like 48. I think if I send 20 Crystal, then it's probably going to be good. So let's do a Control V and paste into DFK1 comp. Let's send 20 Crystal over there. Should be plenty. And we're going to say next. And confirm. Let's see. Yeah, probably you've got something fishy turned on, your settings. Yeah, I don't know if it's fishy. I think maybe it's just the default. Like I said, I haven't been streaming on YouTube very long at all. I think this is only my third or fourth stream on YouTube ever. And it's not surprising to me that they would default to not allowing viewers in chat to post links. So it's probably just their default. So I don't know if it's fishy. I just need to change the default to allow y'all to have stuff. Yeah. 97A says, do they have whispers on platform? Man, you know what? I wish they did. I don't know if they do or not. If anyone can find out, like I said, this is only my fourth time to stream on YouTube. I don't know if there's any way to send private DMs through YouTube either. I'm thinking, oh my goodness, how are we going to send private messages? Are we going to have to go to like our Gmail accounts, or are we going to have to do Discord, which I think that's what we're going to be doing. It's like the grandma of platforms. Yeah. Private messages? Y'all don't need any of those, do you? Everything should be public. Let's see. All right, so I think we sent over all the items that we need to do this summons. Let's get over there and get this thing cracking. Comp 1. Was that my real voice? That was my real voice, yes. Hello, Sonny. I told y'all I was old, didn't I? Let's see. We're ready to do the summons. Let's get back to the portal, guys. Portal. Archdruid. Infuse the crystal. Add our hero. We're going to be adding Harsalt, our first hero. We're going to be adding Ramnella, the hero that I'm probably going to sell. The Gen0 that I'm probably going to sell. And it's amazing that we have a good use for her right here. In fact, maybe I don't want to sell her after this. I don't know. I don't think she pairs up with too many other heroes, though. But we're going to select. We're going to add 10 tiers. Boom. And that's because she's level 7, so we can do that. And for the enhancement stone, we're going to add a lesser insight stone, plus 4 wisdom. Of course, we're expecting this to be a gardener. Plus 3% to primary stat growth, plus 5 to the secondary stat growth. And again, we're really hoping for a gardener. So, well, we're expecting 86% chance to get a gardener, right? All right, guys, this is it. Harsalt and Ramnella going in at it. Level 3, level 7, Gen 0s. This one's 8th summon, or maybe 9th summon. Flipping those cards over, we have got 2 gardeners, right? So we do have Seer and a Berserker, so we're trying for the Shapeshifter right there, right? Trying for the Shapeshifter, which would be really cool. But both of these are gardeners, so it really gives us a massive chance for gardening. Unfortunately, both of these guys have luck as their blue stat, so we have a massive chance to get luck for the blue stat, which is not great for a gardener, right? But at least we've got a green here for wisdom, so that gives us a little something for our secondary stat. We've added some tiers when we could. We added an enhancement stone. Are y'all ready for this? 52 crystal to summon this guy. I cannot help but think that no matter what we get, we're going to come out financially ahead from this one. Here it goes, 9A7A says. Absolutely right. Bravo's Hive is calling an uncommon Berserker. Oh, man. The contrarian all the time, right? Oh, man. I don't know if you could get much worse than that. Yikes. I guess you could get a little worse than that. But here we go. Here we go. Drum roll, please. Too bad we don't have sound effects here on YouTube. That would be kind of cool for y'all to throw out some sound effects for this. Let's do it. Confirm. Mythic Shapeshifter. I like that attitude, potatoes. Mythic Shapeshifter. There we go. That's what we want. Gen 1, 10 of 10. Still, yeah, no matter what we get, it will be a Gen 1, 10 of 10. Right. Let's go over to the Summoner. And, we haven't obtained our crystal yet. Maybe it has to wait a little bit. I think I approved that on the blockchain. Why don't we have our crystal yet? Come on. I might need to refresh this page. I haven't seen that happen too often. Well, let's go over to the Summoner then, this way. There it is. Rub that little egg. Rub it. There we go. Come on, you can do it. This is it. Open that up. Come over here. Let's confirm. Dibs. Seer, Berserker, or Berserker Seer. Nice. Here we go. What do we get? We really do want a Seer or Shapeshifter. Shapeshifter would be awesome. Come on. You can do it. Mythic. Shapeshifter. Gen 1. 10 of 10. Oh, look at this. Well, it's good so far. At least it's not a Berserker. That's at least it is not a Berserker. Right? Oh man. What were the chances to get this, right? Oh my goodness. Priest. Small chance. We get a rare priest, not even a mythic, right? A priest is still good, right? So if we look over here, let's flip though. Man, this is going to be, let's hope we didn't get a forager, I guess. Gardening, okay. That's what we want. With wisdom. We got a green wisdom. Sweet. And of course a blue luck, which we were expecting. But a gardener. So if we come over here and we look at priests, priests do make good gardeners. I mean, as far as a basic class goes, you couldn't, ask for too much less. I mean, it's the same level as a seer. So in a way, it's just as good. Getting the priest or the seer, I'm happy with either one. Right? Either one is fine. Shapeshifter would have been a little bit lower, but of course, overall, the shapeshifter value would have been more. So priest, amazing. I mean, this is good. This is very good so far. The fact that we got a green wisdom is probably going to give it a little bit of bonus, even though personally, I think most of us that are been involved for a while probably know that the blue is better. But still, not too shabby there. If we look at the growth for this, 83%, because we added that stone for wisdom, since it's a gardener, that is also a pretty dang good gardener as well. 25% chance on the secondary for that as well. Right? Man, this is going to be good. And here, priest, seer. So even as a secondary subclass, seer would make a good gardener. So even as a subclass, you've got a good hero right there. Gen 1. 10 of 10. Here is our hero ID number. Remember, this is a crystal veil number, so you got to add all the zeros in front, right? But this one is pretty nice. Should we check out how much it's worth on the in the tavern, just to kind of see what we spun up real quick as far as value goes? This one's going to make a nice little addition to our army of gardeners, which we definitely need. And I think this is going to be one of the better gardeners that we've got. Let's see here. Well, it's a rare. Yeah, rare is not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. Classes align. Rare is nice indeed. Yeah. So, yeah, absolutely potatoes. I think we've got some good stuff. Let's see the odds. Absolutely. Let's check out the odds. Good intelligence and wisdom growth for mana increase. Yes, indeed. 69 crystals a fine offer. Yeah, we can check that out. Bravos is saying 71 right now. We can take a look. But let's take a look at the odds again for what some of this is, because this was kind of weird. Look at this. Only a 9% chance to get a priest, and that is what we hit. That priest. 37% chance to get a subclass of a seer, and that's what we got. Hard to guess that we got the gardening at 86%, right? The rare, there was a 16% chance to get a rare. So not too shabby. I mean, 44% chance to get a common, 30% chance to get an uncommon. So totally, that was what, a 75% chance. And so we beat those odds. 37% chance for our green to be boosted, which is what we got. And 77% chance for our blue stat, which is what we got too. So it hit right in line with what we have there, right? We can check out its abilities here, I guess, in a minute and see what it got for all that, which would be really good, I guess. In fact, let's go ahead and do that. 26444. I'm just going to add that into here. 26444. We're not really going to pair these up, of course, but here we go. So, priest, seer, gardening. Rare. Let's see here. Wisdom and luck, of course, for those things. Let's take a look at what we've got for the genetics right here. We've got priest, seer, knight, knight. Priest, seer, of course. Subclass, seer, warrior. So there's a little bit of a mix of a warrior knight back there in the recesses. Profession, gardening, foraging, mining, fishing. I wish, look at all the gardening that this one has over here. Gardening, gardening, gardening. And the dominant on the other one that we paired up was a gardener also, right? So I wish that we would have got a little bit more, you know, it would have been nice to have a gardening for the profession here. But this is still good. Our stats here, vitality, we do have an endurance with a recessive there. And what did we get for our abilities right in here? It looks like no advanced. Basics, basics, basics all the way through. So We didn't hit any of the probabilities. There was a 16% chance that one of our passive 2s was going to be an advance, a 16% chance. So we didn't get that. And then we've got some other stuff here. Yeah. I don't know if anyone cares about our visual genetics, but there it is. And of course, we're not actually pairing these, so we don't need to look at the summoning chances there. But yeah, this one's a pretty decent gardener. There is profit there nonetheless, Bravo says. Absolutely right. That was the joke, by the way. 10 of 10 floor is 85. Oh, gotcha. So let's take a look here real quick. You're saying that the floor for just any 10 of 10 is 85. Of course, I feel that this one right here is going to be better than the floor for that, right? Let's take a look at what we've got. We're not selling this one, so we really don't care, but it's always fun to see. Buying heroes, let's take a look at I guess we'll specifically say seer for this. And I'm generally going to say 9 or 10 summons remaining. I don't necessarily like to always say 10 of 10, although that is a massive difference, or can be a massive difference in price. Let's say let's take all the rarities just to get started with this. And a generation 1, absolutely, because that's important. And then up here, we're going to say for attributes, we're going to check gardening off the list and say apply. So what do we got? 95 is the cheapest, and then 96. And look at this. After these two, it jumps to 119 right away. All right? And then what do we got? 120, a couple of things at 120, and then up to 169. And then, of course, some crazy stuff for those legendaries. So these two right here are uncommon at 120s. Let's take a closer look at some of the differences here. Where would ours actually fit in? Would it be closer to 169 or would it be closer to 95? Let's just take a look. First off, I'm looking at all these and I'm seeing that all of these are level 1s. This one's a level 3. So that one makes a little bit of a difference perhaps, right? But all of these others are level 1s. We've got some commons mixed in there. There's a rare right there. These are uncommons. And we've got some seers. And I don't know if there's a big difference between... Oh, not seer. I'm sorry. Come back over here. Seer or priest. Because we actually got a priest, right? Let's apply that. So 95 still. Because I'm still interested in the priests mixed in here as well. I think seers and priests are at the same level. And I'm taking that based on this right here. Seers and priests, when you're talking about them being gardeners or people looking for gardeners, priests and seers, I think, fall right into place together. So I'm fine comparing those with each other. There is, of course, a little bit of a difference. I'm aware. If we take a look at the priest, the least expensive common priest, Gen 1, level 1, is 120, right? If we were just to look at priests specifically. All right. Level 1, Gen 1, uncommon, 170 right there if you're looking at priests. And even over here, a common priest, 10 of 10, 300. I mean, is this really... I mean, the priests are a lot higher valued, maybe just because there's more of them. I don't know. Bravo says 150 most likely would sell in a day or two. Potatoes is saying DFK Solver has a neat floor command that compares to similar listed heroes. That's interesting. Potatoes, do you have a link that you could share? Maybe like, I don't know how we're going to share links necessarily. I don't think I have DFK Solver in my stuff or where that link would be. That might be interesting to look at, but I think this is pretty close to look at, right? We can see some good combinations here. So why would some of these be such a big difference in price? People just trying to get rid of this stuff? Let's take a look. Let's flip the cards on some of these. Blue Wisdom. I mean, that seems pretty good. It's better than our priest, Gardener, right? If we check out the growth stats here, 82 and 50, which is about what we have. Of course, theirs is blue. Of course, we have the stone, which actually gives us 83. So our wisdom is actually higher than theirs, even with their blue tag. This one's got a blue vitality, a green wisdom. But if we look through here, some of these higher priced ones don't have any matching or aligned boosted stats. And they still have 170, 160, and so on, right? So from the back of the cards, I can't really see a big difference in that, right? Seers and priests generally have, let's take a look at this seer and this priest and look at the growth stats for those compared to, or for gardening. Both of them look like they have about 80. This one looks like it was boosted a little bit. And then they both have 50 vitality. So as far as gardener goes for each of these, they're like right in line with each other, which is what we would see. 80 plus 50 is 130, which is why you see these two both in the 130 total base stat right there, right? So, they're right in line with each other as far as gardeners go. And so the back of these don't really show any special thing going on for these that are less, or let's take a look at some of these that are like 300. These that are 200 and 200 and 300 and 500. No, look at that. Not aligned, not aligned, not aligned. In fact, these that are costing more are not aligned with their boosts, right? Flip, flip, and flip. Priests, priests, and priests right here, which is exactly what we've got. I don't know. This one's the only rare. These two are common, and they're still more expensive. 10 of 10s, everybody has. Man, of course, we don't know how. I mean, this is just what someone's asking for this stuff, right? Just because someone's asking 3 and 500 doesn't mean they're going to sell at that, right? But still, I mean, that's what we're looking like. That's what's in here. That's an uncommon. We've even got a rare, which is better. I didn't look for shininess. These guys aren't shiny. I don't think that ours is shiny. Shiny, no. Okay. Not that matters too much, I don't think. Something else that could be going on with some of these, there could possibly be a like an advanced ability or an elite ability underneath the hood in the genetics. So something like that possibly could be going on. I'm not going to take the time to look that up. Let's see. Potato says, yes, someone was saying there's a recent demand for priests, but no. Oh, yeah, right. So something else that there is a big demand for right now is various classes because of Fight Club. And I don't remember specifically what classes are so much better than others for different things in Fight Club. Fight Club seems very complex to me, I guess, to jump in. I'm interested in getting involved in that, but I just don't have the retention right now. I think I'm scattered with a bunch of other things. I don't think I have the retention, if that's the word that I want to use, to try to remember all the different list of skills and combinations of moves that I could make to be in a competition like that, or to throw some heroes together and try to do a battle and say, okay, this person is probably going to do these things, so I want to counter with these things. And it's just, it's a little bit more than I want to do. Rock, paper, scissors is about my speed right now. Okay. Rock, paper, scissors. And maybe something a little bit more complex than that. But Fight Club, absolutely right. join the tournament. Yeah, in fact, I posted a thing in our Discord for anybody who was curious in our Darlantis Discord. Adventures in DeFi Kingdoms is talking about their upcoming Fight Club, PvP. Tons of prizes and places. And in fact, here's a little video that I had posted into our Discord as well, talking about the fact that it's just a little baby cup is one of the things that one of the guys described it as. You have to have a level 1 hero only, right? So some of these advanced players are having to go out and scrounge up a new level 1 hero just to get involved in this, which I thought was kind of cute and fun and interesting. But everyone in my audience should probably have a level 1 as well, or be able to get one super easy, right? Check out this video that's posted to our Darlantis Discord in the general section here. It's the last post that I put in there. And I would strongly encourage everyone to join up for this Fight Club and get some experience with that. I think you're going to need 3 heroes, 3 level 1 heroes, I think is what you're going to need. And there are lots of prizes. This video, I think, is maybe 15 minutes long or something like that, somewhere right around in there. It's not too long. And they talk about all the prizes and the raffle prizes and a bunch of stuff, and explain a little bit. I think they even run through one example game of it as well. So absolutely, if you're not too familiar with Fight Club, definitely check that out. And this is an upcoming event for DFK that y'all might really want to get into, right? With some fairly decent prizes and quite a few prizes as well. That video, their video for Adventures in DeFi Kingdoms is also on YouTube if y'all just want to check it out there as well. Everyone should be subscribed to Adventures in DeFi Kingdoms YouTube channel anyway. Let's see. If only they added animations, Fight Club would be PvP to go for. Yeah, there is a little bit of animation in there, but you're right. There's not a ton of animation for that. It's all coming, you know, baby steps, I guess. Potato says, I have no idea what I'm doing, but nice raffles and looks way fun. Yeah, yeah. You know, that could be something too, Potatoes. Maybe I want to take a look at the fact that to just jump in, and even if I have no clue what I'm doing, maybe it would be something fun for me as a streamer, content to show, and also maybe just to be a part of the fun, even if I don't expect to win or anything. Maybe, tell you what, we'll do that. We'll do that. I'm going to make that decision right now. So Potatoes, it is you and you alone that have convinced me to get involved in the tournament, the Fight Club tournament that's coming up. I'm doing it. We have Potatoes to thank for that. Let's see. Found some awesome deals. Looking for tournament heroes. Absolutely right. What I love is puts PvP into perspective. Subclasses is very important and adds interesting dynamics. Yeah, all of that stuff, which is way beyond what my brain power wants to get into right now, but we're doing it anyway. Let's see. Potato says, Rock sent you an invite to DFK Solver. Okay, cool. Command is /4. All right, thanks. I think I'll do that a little bit later, but that is good. I'll play around with it a little bit. Maybe for our next summons. I want to be doing maybe one Gen0 summons every couple of days. I think maybe every 2 days or something like that. We'll do a Gen0 summons. Make sure to stream it. Oh, bravo. So you're talking about streaming the... I'm pretty sure you're talking about streaming the tournament. Yes, absolutely. I'll be streaming the tournament. Indeed. Don't worry, my strategy is just to click. Yeah, that's probably what mine's going to be too. Just click something. I'm probably going to look over the rules and the strategy a little bit. And I'm probably going to be giving a lot of my own personal commentary, even though I'm not going to do very well. One of the things that might happen is it might give people from Adventures in DeFi Kingdoms a look at how kind of a newbie to this is viewing the Fight Club, which to me, like I said, if it hadn't been for you to mention it again and for me to consider it as a way of not really caring if I win or not, then I wouldn't get in. I wasn't going to get in. I was like, no, there's not really any way, and I don't want to take the brain power to try to figure it out. So when you made your comments a little earlier about, just joining the fun and getting involved and you don't really care about winning, when you think of it that way, then, and maybe a thing would be to just get the word out. Maybe that would help also. So if I can stream some content for it, that will help get the word out about it as well. Yeah. Okay, so what we're looking at as we wrap up this tavern, looking into the tavern, we could probably get a couple of crystal for this priest that we just summoned. But guess what, guys? That was one of our new Gen 1s. What do you think about that? We have a new Gen 1, well, not Gen 1 only, but a new level 1 that we are going to be using for the PvP. In fact, let's take a look at our levels ascending. So this one right here, we've got our Montserrat, which is the one that we just summoned. And he's already on a quest. Look at that. He's already on a quest. Got him going out already. And Potato says, a beauty. Yeah, I agree. This one, I'm actually really happy with. Even though I was thinking it was going to be a seer, a priest, I think is just as good, if not better, maybe. Yeah. Priest Gardener. Really nice. And a rare at that as well. 10 of 10. We're going to have, this one, Montserrat, might have beautiful babies on its own sometime in the future as well, right? So Bravo says, let's see your lineup. That's an interesting thing. Yeah, let's see what we've got for level 1s. This is the only level 1 I've got right now. Everyone else has been leveling up. So I'm going to need to get a whole new set of level 1 heroes. So one thing that I definitely want to do is I want to make sure that this guy does not level up. It's okay for me to send them on quests, but I think that Fight Club is in the beginning of October. Potatoes, is that right? Do you remember without me having to go to another page to look it up? Is Fight Club like the first week in October, I think? And if we look at a calendar, let's see if I can look at a calendar 2022 for this month type thing, then, oh man, why? Can we just look at an image for 2022 maybe? Can we expand that? Can we expand on that? View link. There we go. Okay. So we're looking at, today is the 28th. Oh, it's my mother's birthday coming up pretty soon. I'm going to have to say happy birthday to her. So that just means maybe a week away, October 6th. So really, literally 1 week away, maybe 1 week and 1 day. Yeah. So in that particular case, I do need to be careful that if we're going to be working that new level 1, our new summons right now, that I want to make sure that one doesn't level up over the course of this next week. And there's a way that I can have the waifu bot ignore the level ups. All right. But we don't want that one to level up. It is okay to get all of the experience in. So maybe we can get all the experience. So as soon as we do the tournament, we can level her up right away. Happy birthday, Mom. Potato says, yeah, absolutely. I'll pass the word on there, Potatoes. So, but Bravos, this is a good, it's a good thing that you brought that up. I need to start looking at a lineup. We do not want to be leveling up our other level 1s, and if I don't have any other level 1s even available, also potatoes, and everybody else too, but especially you, potatoes, you were talking about priests being highly sought after, and I do think that that's because of the Fight Club. So this might be an amazing level 1 priest to be bringing into our Fight Club. Whereas everyone else is having to scrounge and buy level 1 priests, we've already got ours right here. How about that? Let's see. It says, Rock, do not sell your summons, or do you not sell your summons, or only keep what you like? I think I'm definitely open to selling what the heroes that I summon. I'm definitely open to that. I haven't yet sold any because I'm in the phase where I still think I need more. And the heroes that I've purchased, so like I said, I've got quite a few heroes. Most of them, I've only done 5 summons ever, right? So most of the heroes that I've purchased are purchased. Most of the heroes that I have are purchased. And I've not been going crazy trying to buy a bunch of really high-level heroes. Like, who was it? Was it Mosh or Starbucks? Somebody was saying something like they're very focused. They have a low number of heroes. Still, I think they had close to 100. But he was saying he had a low number of heroes, just very high quality. Whereas mine are very low quality right now. And so when I'm summoning, and I am probably trying to pay a little bit more attention to what I'm summoning rather than just spending money on summons on things that aren't very good. So these heroes that I'm summoning, like this one right here, are generally better than the gardeners that I already have, as an example. So it's much more likely that maybe I would want to sell some other things that I've already purchased, but now is not a good time to sell either. I don't think now is a good time to be selling heroes. Prices are way too low at the moment. Of course, they could go lower. In fact, I think in one of my streams a couple of days ago, I was even saying that I would be happy to see a $3 to $5 floor hero as just the regular thing to see. Floor heroes being about $3 to $5. It'd be very easy for new people to get into the game then and buy some heroes to start having fun and getting attached to the game and getting sucked into the game, right? If the heroes were that inexpensive. But as it stands right now, I have a feeling that heroes could, all it's going to take is for crystal value to, jump up a bit. And that's just going to take crypto jumping up, which I think is going to happen at some point. And then heroes are going to be worth more again. And at that time, I might sell some that I don't care a lot about. Although I might not want to sell because I feel that each one of my heroes is contributing to daily gains, right? Daily financial rewards. Each hero that I have is a positive contribution. And so to sell one of those, I'm not really sure about that too much. But of course, we could sell it for a lot higher and maybe not only summon again, but summon twice more. That could be something interesting as well. Let's see. Bravo said, potatoes, he's got this strategy of leveling the hero to level 10 and then sell them. That is definitely something that I've been considering. Leveling it up to level 10 through the bot, and then when it gets to level 10, would be a good time to make a sale. So that is definitely one thing that I've talked about, one thing that I'm kind of interested in. Those heroes at level 10 are going to sell for a lot more. So, and that is absolutely something, Bravos, that I was looking at most of the time, is that why sell a hero at level 1 when I can stick him on a bot and in maybe a couple of months have a much more valuable hero at level 10. Potato says, I was holding off on summoning until LV, or level 5, but I think of doing now level 10. Yeah, I think you're going to have a lot more value in those higher few levels, even though it's going to take longer to get from level 5 to 10 than it did to get from level 1 to 5. Take a lot longer, actually. But I think that the value goes up quite a bit more. It used to be in the past, you could go and find level 10s for sale almost, I shouldn't say level 10s, I could find level 7s and 8s or so for sale almost as much as a level 1 or 2. It's like people didn't even know or didn't even care about some of that kind of stuff, right? Bravo says, goodbye, peeps. Gonna grab something to eat. Absolutely, Bravos. We're not going to be on here too much longer. It's already 6:46 my time, local. And how long has this stream been going on? Let's just take a quick peek. The stream's been going on quite a while. So I'm about to wrap it up here. But I'm glad we got our summons in. So you're not going to miss much. Tournament, the last tournament was super close. Yeah, the last tournament was exciting to watch. I really like to watch that. And a priest took it. Yes, that is absolutely true. Potato says, Rock, quick tip for Fight Club. Some classes have skills that cost no meter. You think mana, right? Exactly. So you can use skills every turn as opposed to high cost skills. Also, subclass, maybe, gives one skill from that hero. Oh, interesting. And there's just so much. See, this is part of the thing. There's so much with Fight Club and all the little things to keep in mind. My brain is just not ready to get into that all right now. But I love hearing about it. I love that there's such an interesting game, kind of, feels more advanced than chess, more strategy involved than chess, where you just have to remember. Well, I guess not that you just have to remember. There's a lot involved in chess too. But the pieces can't do a wide variety of things that they can do here. Although there is a lot of strategy with chess too, thinking ahead of the different moves. Interesting combos are possible, absolutely. All right. Guys, I think I'm going to wrap it up right here. Was there anything else we absolutely needed to do today, right now? I need to make sure before too soon. In fact, let me put it on my spreadsheet. Let's pull up the spreadsheet over here for y'all in case you're kind of interested in that. So I wanted to check for updates. We didn't get to that. I wanted to talk about real-time strategy like Warcraft for DeFi Kingdoms. I talked about that a little bit. It would be really fun to have DeFi Kingdoms, like a new game involved in DeFi Kingdoms, to kind of be like a real-time strategy. So you could have your different heroes mining gold or, harvesting wood and then building up your little armies and sending them off into battle somebody else for land or something like that, like a real-time strategy. Think of Warcraft 3, right? Let me even edit this. Warcraft 3 specifically is what I am thinking there. And so let's even bold that, and can we make that a little bit bigger? Boom, right there, right? Warcraft 3. So I wanted to pull up a short little YouTube video of Warcraft 3 gameplay just to kind of remind everyone what that was like. But that would be really cool if DeFi Kingdoms had something where we could send our heroes or view our heroes in kind of a Warcraft 3 real-time strategy game, right? With their abilities, just like the Warcraft 3 characters had their different abilities and stuff too. I guess Dota 2 has the same type of thing, although maybe you've only got a couple of characters with that. Whereas with Warcraft 3, I remember we had, dozens or almost 100 different units to be controlling around, which seems about like what we would want for DeFi Kingdoms, where people have, maybe 100 heroes. You could have less, but the idea would be to maybe get in a guild or in a team where you could be involved in part of that thing as well. And then a commander could give orders and other people could do their things, and it would be really interesting as far as a real-time strategy goes. Anyway, I wanted to talk a little bit more about that. That's kind of a brief overview for now. And there were a couple of other things, but right here, I need to also make sure to keep a note for maybe the next stream that we do is I want to make sure to block level 1s from leveling up. Get ready for Fight Club. They spell that with a K. And I want to also maybe highlight that and maybe bold it right there. So that's something that we definitely want to do on the next stream, and maybe I'll show how I'm going to do that, play around, do a little bit of stuff with the bot and the configuration on the bot, so y'all can kind of see that as well. I think that wraps it up for today. Do y'all have anything else that we needed to do? Oh, I did want to do one giveaway. One giveaway real quick. I've got a few minutes to do that. Let's do one more quick giveaway. Man, unfortunately, I think Nightbot dashboard. Does Nightbot only work with Twitch? I'll need to look into that. And I don't have enough time to look into that today, right now. So let's do another giveaway with names. We're going to see, well, I'll tell you what. Do y'all prefer to see who wins first and then we're going to see what you're going to win? I think that might make it a little bit more fun, right? Because if somebody pulls up a nothing, then who cares who wins that? Or if somebody pulls up maybe, you know, bloaters, then maybe that kind of automatically busts the excitement for the next wheel spin, perhaps, right? Although, again, it could work the same way in the other direction. If we're spinning names, then, you know, if you're not the winner, then maybe you don't care too much about what happens next either. So maybe it doesn't really matter which one we do first. Although, if we spun what is happening for what is going to be won first, everyone is still going to be very interested in who is actually going to win that. Even if it's Frostboaters, you probably want to know that you won. So maybe we should do the items first still. Okay, so let's see what you're going to win. Let's do this spin first right here. What is somebody going to win? And then we could even ask for y'all to put your names in chat of who even wants to try. Some of y'all might not even care to try for some of this stuff. So let's go ahead and see what these items are. Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4 shuffles. And then we're going to do a spin. We'll see how many of y'all are still here in chat. 20 Frostbloaters. This is exactly what we were talking about a minute ago. If you want a chance at winning these 20 Frostbloaters right here, put me, type in the word me in chat right now. If you want a chance at winning the 20 Frostbloaters, put the word me in chat right now. And we'll add your names to this list right here. I'll give y'all maybe a minute. I think the audio is a little bit behind. So I'm going to give y'all a little bit of time to get in there. But it's possible that some of y'all have already left the stream. It's also possible that many of y'all don't even care about Frostboaters. Wouldn't that be something if nobody submitted? Or maybe you're the only person that submits, so you're guaranteed to get 20 Frostbloaters. You're the only person. Any takers for 20 Frostbloaters? I'm going to give y'all another like 60 seconds on the clock. Where's the timer? Just give to giveaway wallet. Oh, okay, yeah, and that's something else. So on the spreadsheet, I do have, I think I have an information here to set up a giveaway wallet. check for the waipu bots. Gardeners, add more. I don't have the giveaway wallet. Oh man, I do need to add Rock 808 things on the to-do list. Is we do need to set up giveaway wallet. Yeah, absolutely. I need to make sure to do that. And then this, oops, can go down a little bit further. That's something different. So there's our to-do list right there. All right, anybody else? Looks like we got no me's. Nobody's claiming the thing. All right. So in that particular case, potatoes. I think you automatically won, but we will, just for the fun of it, we will go ahead and take everybody else's name out because apparently nobody else cares about that. Potatoes. And let's spin. Who's going to win? The 20 frost bloaters. Oh my goodness. Potatoes, potatoes, you are the winner. Look at that. Woo! Potatoes, potatoes, you are the winner. 20 frost bloaters. And you have said here in chat, me, and also just give it to the giveaway wallet. So I'm going to come over here back to the spreadsheet, and I'm going to specify that we are going to giveaway wallet and potatoes is contributing, if I can spell it right, 20 frost bloaters from me, Rock 808, from their winnings on whatever today is, 9/28. Finally a win in real life. All right, so I've made a little note here that one of the first things we'll add to the giveaway wallet is those 20 frost bloaters, and of course make sure that I reminded myself that it's actually going to come from my wallet, but it is a contribution from you for your winning. So thanks so much for contributing to that. Anyway, guys, that wraps up our show for today. We are going to do a lot more. We'll have another stream tomorrow on Twitch. Let me go ahead and give y'all that link here on YouTube, since some of y'all might not be too familiar with watching things on Twitch. I do a morning stream on Twitch every day as well, and you can grab that at, oops, where did my chat window go all of a sudden? There it is. Oops, not that. There is the link in there. Should be twitch.tv/rock808 is my link on Twitch. We do a morning stream for a couple of hours there as well. And then, of course, we'll do an afternoon stream again here tomorrow on YouTube, and hopefully some more giveaways. And I'm hoping to get a little bit better prizes. But again, I think we'll have to talk about that maybe as a group as far as what we're going to give away and how often we're going to give away. Because I'm not money bags over here, and I haven't had a huge set of heroes to build up a massive quantity of items to give away yet. But I do want to give some stuff away. Anyway, I think that is it for today. And y'all have a great day yourselves. And I'll see y'all tomorrow.